Right, now we've got Paul Mann here. I'll step aside. Paul, come and have a seat. John Joe Finnegan here to receive a charity donation. Paul, just tell us what we're doing here now.
Well, we just raised money for John Joe. As you know, he suffered a bad loss in the ring and it affected him, brain damage and wise. So we got together and I had to do a 26-mile run, raise money for my brother. And
took you 2 years though, didn't it?
Yeah. To finish, yeah.
It's amazing, I mean, all these years later, everyone's still rallying around you. It's a tribute to yourself as much as it is to boxing.
Yeah, I'm so grateful, I really am. The box family is the best family in the world. That's without a fact. Paul and Michael have done the run for me. And I can never ever express how grateful I am for that. Really, really amazing. Amazing people for that. Definitely.
Well, Errol's been too tight to pay for a big cheque or anything, but I think Paul's got a donation there that you want to contribute. Well deserved, you both a credit. Thanks ever so much, chaps.
Oh, thanks very much, lads. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, John Joe.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Hi guys, you're joining us back with our stream. Apologies for that short break. I think someone stepped on the wrong plug. The internet here may be fighting against us a little bit, but we're back. Luke Kakacha took that fight 40 points to 36. I don't think he missed an awful lot from the stream dropping out. It was a comfortable finish for him, and he moves on to 4-0. Next fight we've got in the ring tonight is James Beach Jr.'s taking on Russ Midgley, and this is our first 6-rounder of the night. Adam, what can you tell us about James?
I've done a bit of research. Block, which is James Beach, 3-0 at the minute. He's an MGM fighter. Does a lot of training down at Wednesbury with his coach Peter. He's boxed your usual suspects, and he's facing Russ Midgley from Leeds, who's in his 22nd fight. Should be a simple routine for Beach, coming off 3 wins. After this, he again should be looking at an 8-rounder or 6-rounder. Well, this is an 8-rounder really. Midgley's been stopped 6 times. Some noise in here. Yeah, Beach has been stopped 6 times, so he should really be looking to get a stoppage win and make an impression. And he's only really been in against Boy Jones. That's the only noticeable name that Midgley's been in with. Boy Jones, who's a Frank Warren fighter. So really, Beach Jr. should be looking to get a good win and trying to, make a statement and get a win like Boy Jones did.
I think Boy Jones is a fighter who, when I first saw him, he looked about 3 stone, ringing wet. And I did wonder, I thought the name was quite entertaining, but he's gone on to actually have quite a decent little career.
Did you see the fight against Craig Poxon for the Southern area?
Excellent.
Very, very good fight. Poxon beat him, but what a war that was.
As we get underway here, Beach box on the back foot. There's an awful lot of sparkle and shininess in the ring there. Again, Beach wearing the MTK shorts. Formerly of MGM, a real powerhouse now, certainly in British and Irish boxing. The amount of fighters they've got saying they've just taken on Carl Frampton.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Say what you want about Frampton's split with Mick McGuigan, but it's a marquee signing for Matthew Macklin and his team there, isn't it?
I think MGM are massive at the minute. There's a lot of fighters going to them. I think, like you said, they got Smith, they got now Frampton. They got
world champions like Billy Joe Saunders.
Billy Joe Saunders, yeah.
Definitely a deep roster.
We've got Beach here who's gone to the body well. I can really see Beach stopping this lad today, Midgley.
Decent right hook to the body there from Beach.
I definitely think the shorts are his best attribute, don't you?
I do like the shorts, to be fair.
Like a footballer back in the day wearing white boots.
Whereas my co-commentator tonight, Adam, famously wearing the Aston Villa logo on his shorts, man after my own heart.
No comment.
I do like Beach. He's coming here to really put on a show tonight. He's not.
Don't change the subject from Aston Villa, please, Adam.
Decent
like most Villa fans, he doesn't actually come from Birmingham.
Decent combination to the body there from Beach. Midgley seems to be struggling to close the distance. Hasn't handed anything of note in the first round so far.
A bit like the previous fight, Beach looks like he does everything well, but nothing spectacularly.
Yeah, he looks brilliant here. Let's see if he's got some power to stop Midgley, but he's doing everything really. Yeah, he's doing everything perfect. boxing to a plan. He's not getting carried away, and beautifully behind his jab.
Little left hook bounces off the gloves of Midgley there. Again, he's taking these punches quite well. But as you say, Adam, Beach yet to sit down in many of these shots so far.
No, I do think these body shots are going to wear Midgley down. I think he's starting to the body really early, which is a peach of a shot.
Lovely left hook there from Beach inside.
But like I said, Midgley's only really been in with Boyd Jones of any note. He's been stopped a fair few times. So if Beach is going to stop anyone, it's going to be someone like Russ Midgley tonight.
So
No disrespect to Midgley, but there's journeymen and there's journeymen. Do you find?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it. You've got your Warburtons, who's everybody's worst nightmare, and no one can be happy fighting him. And then you've got these kind of guys who come to fight, but they're there to be taken out, aren't they?
I think there's a certain value almost in fighters like these for the guys. I mean, to get stoppages on these records, which is invaluable, really.
Unfortunately, in boxing, it is
Yeah,
too much the be all and end all.
Definitely.
Like I've said before, guys, if you can like the page, BCB, and share. First round to James Beach, but please like this page and share the feed.
Yeah, I think that went pretty much as we expected it to go.
Yeah,
Not sure how many rounds of it we'll see. It all depends on how much Beach wants to step it up and make a name for himself.
I personally think Beach will get him out of here rounds 5 or 6. I really do. I think he's going to wear him down, bust him up, and I think he'll get Midgley out.
Like we touched on earlier, though, Adam, is it a case of not trying too hard, just taking it when it comes, when that liver shot comes, when he leaves his chin open, and rather than forcing it?
Yeah, I think it's about being relaxed and letting his hands go when he needs to. But I do think Beach Jr. has done that tonight. I think he's doing everything he needs to. He's obviously listened to his coach and his team, and he's putting his shots together lovely. I think if he keeps working the body and then going back upstairs, he is going to wear Midgley down and take him out. I've just seen Ricky Summers in the house. Ricky Summers in the venue to support probably Tyler Denny, I'd have thought.
Yeah. Ricky Summers coming off that impressive performance in the loss to Frank Buglioni, who's got his own Midlands title fight coming up slightly later on the year here at Walsall Town Hall. And we're going, as we spoke earlier, that'll be an interesting fight against Joe Sheriff.
Oh, it's going to be a cracker, and again, it's great to see Errol Johnson putting on that show. I know he's linking up with MGM, but what a show Errol Johnson's putting on there. You know, he's really putting on all the good shows in the Midlands, and you know, it's a great opportunity for these lads.
It's funny, isn't it, how sometimes you can gain more from a loss than a win. In Summers' case, you know.
I haven't experienced it yet, so I'm not going to answer that question. I don't want to answer
As a
it.
Villa fan, you've had it a few times, but I know what you mean about in the ring.
I think Beach is looking in control again here. Just touching him upstairs, and then he's slamming the body shot in.
It's a lovely little short right hand from Beach. He's manoeuvring Ridgely onto the ropes. He's mixing, as you say, Adam, mixing well to the body. Oh, a lovely right hook up top.
Funny enough, it's something my coach talks to me about. Looking upstairs, just distract him. Upstairs, slam it into the body, then go back upstairs again. And it's something that works. It was working lovely for us, and by the look of it, it's working great for Beach. He's just distracting him upstairs, whipping that uppercut in, all that. There we go, and then straight to the body after.
Beach won there just for slightly pushing down his opponent, but he comes back with a nice little left-right hand combination.
I don't know if it's just me, but Midgley looks a little bit less ragged than the first round. Has he got a bit more respect, a bit more understanding? I say that he's taken a couple of great shots. But
yeah, I think he's certainly hiding a slightly better guard than he was in the opener. Like I said, maybe will be Beach slightly slowing things down a bit, feeling out the shots.
I personally think, guys, he's doing this because I think Beach has hurt him. I think he's tucking up a bit more. I don't think he wants to get hurt. Whether he's scheduled to fight again and he wants to get through it, but I think Beach is hurting him with these body shots.
Another couple of nice right hands to the body there from Beach. And referee very quick there, second warning for Beach for pushing down.
And please, guys, any boxing questions or opinions you want to put on the page, put it on. We'll answer the questions if we can. Like us, share the feed.
what are people saying about the main event, Adam?
A lot of people, well, it's been split actually. Some people have said Tyler on points, and then some have said Stokes. Hopefully nearer the time we get a few more opinions, and I think it's going to be split down the middle. I really do.
I haven't had a chance yet to look at how the bookies had it up until earlier this week, but I don't know how much it's changed.
Tyler Denny was 6-4, and I think Tommy was 13-25, so just about 1-2.
It's decent muscle work from Beach. The left hand puts him down.
I mean, that was the weight of punches. He's been warned for pushing down. I'm not sure whether he pushed him down there, but it seemed to be the volume of punches more than anything.
There stands a chance he'll get a bit of a telling off here. He landed a short right hand while Midgley was on the floor. Be interesting to see if the ref makes a note of it, and I think he will.
I noticed that was a short right. Well, it looked like a short right hook, a cupping right hook. They put him down, but I'm telling you, Beach has been really hurting him.
He sort of seemed to, like I say, he sort of went down in instalments. I'm not trying to excuse if there was a late blow, but it seemed to be the volume of powerful punches rather than one hurtful punch that did it there.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think you can tell Beach isn't maybe a one-punch knockout artist, but I think he puts his shots together so well that you can't stand in front of him and let him hit you like that. You know, I think if you keep getting hit like that all night, he's going to break you up, and he's breaking up Russ Midgley now.
The atmosphere is certainly heating up here at the Walsall Town Hall. It's looking pretty packed at the moment. Hopefully the undercard fighters fans will stick around for the main event.
Be interesting to see how Beach approaches this next round now, whether he really steps it up or whether he sort of stays cool and calculated and waits for it to come.
It opens up the nice little short right hook to the body.
Touching back on that, funny enough, I had a sparring session the other week, and I dropped my opponent in sparring, and after that I sparred really bad, but he's hurt Midgley here.
Yeah.
Midgley's caught here
on the it's game over.
2 or 3 right hands.
It's got to be game over.
Midgley's not covering up effectively, is he? He's not throwing anything back, he's not moving enough, he's just tucking up and hoping for the best.
A short left hook there.
Midgley's gone.
Ridgely struggling
Kevin
on the ropes
Parker.
here.
Oh.
The referee could be
Glancing
looking in.
left.
Ref's got to stop this. He has stopped it.
Stops the fight.
He was taking silly shots there that you wouldn't expect him to.
It's a conclusive stoppage for Beach Jr. Like I said, absolutely the right decision from the referee. There was nothing coming back there at all. Midgley failed to grab hold at any point.
He wasn't moving, he wasn't grabbing, he was no head movement, no foot movement. He was just covering up and hoping for the best.
Great stoppage. I think Kevin Parker could have stopped it a few seconds earlier, but as I predicted, Beach was busting him up, and he came a few rounds earlier than I thought. But what a performance that was. He put his shots together lovely, didn't panic, and like I was going to say, he didn't get carried away. He didn't let the fact that he put him down in the end of the second. He's got up and he's gone straight back to his game plan, and he's put him down again and finished him. Brilliant.
Everything I've seen tonight says that he can and should step it up as soon as possible, because he's obviously got the talent and the power.
100%. I mean, this is his 4th fight. He's done a 6-rounder. MGM should be looking at giving him a challenge bout now. That's a step up. Get him in his 8 rounds, and then let's look at pushing him onto Midlands area. I think there's Leon Gower, who's 4-0 at the same weight. I don't know if Raza Hamza's this weight. Let's put him in with one of these guys, let's test him.
That's our first stoppage of the night. Hopefully we may get a couple more as we go on. You see, like as Adam said earlier, leave your comments on the Facebook page. Please do share the page and fire any questions in to Adam or to ourselves.
We've just had a comment of Paul Cervantes. Brilliant fight. It was a great fight, mate. I'm glad you're watching. Share it, like it. Emma Hardwick, well done, Beach. Great performance. It was a great performance. Just like his dad, good win. Great win by James Beach Jr. This kid is going to definitely go on to bigger things, bigger and better.
And the MC going through the formalities of that result. The fights do come thick and fast here, so don't go away. The next one will be coming to us very shortly. And hopefully we'll grab a word with James Beach.
Absolute great support here for James Beach. He must have sold a shed load of tickets, and I think that's great to see for a young prospect.
And another win for MTK. Like I said, from their Birmingham branch of their gym. So many gyms throughout the country now, and as we said earlier, becoming a real powerhouse.
And it's still busy at the back of the room, Luke Catchy's fans are still here. Too often, sometimes you see fighters sell a lot of tickets and they'll come and watch their man
and then they
go to the bar or disappear or get back on the M6 or whatever. Whereas tonight, and maybe a lot of it is to do with the town hall and the standard of shows that Errol puts on. But people are here and they're here for the night, aren't they?
And there's an awful lot of spare food on tables 1 and 4, so if you are looking to shell out for a VIP ticket when you come here, you will be well fed at least.
Until I get hold of it, yeah.
I was just about to say the same, but my nutritionist is sat just in front of me, so I can't. I've had a couple of comments. Tommy Irish Carter, great composure, appreciate that, Tommy, he looked great in there. Sue Kimberley doing block switch proud. Well done. Don't forget we've got Luke Paddock as well from the same area. He's got an IBF world title fight, youth world title, also doing the area. Great. Sam Malchap shared. We appreciate that.
We're going to drag Luke over. I'm going to try and get him over in a minute to have a chat about this IBF fight that he's got.
I think we
coming
need to get him over, definitely. We've also got Adam Hobson. Better performance than Stalker is putting up in Liverpool. Let me tell you, how is Tom Stalker doing? I need to know that result.
Yeah, we've had no plugs for that smaller show happening in a small venue in Liverpool tonight, but we're all waiting to see on the results on there. No Sky Go on the iPad this evening, unfortunately.
100%.
There's no Wi-Fi, let alone Sky Go.
I was going to say, just be happy we're still here.
Here we go. I reckon Beach is going to be more out of breath climbing up to talk to us than he will be from the fight.
Yeah, it's fairly harsh for making him do it. Hopefully he appreciates it.
Meeting in his adoring public first.
James, a stoppage win in front of a big crowd support. That couldn't have gone much better for you.
Nah, it was punch perfect really. It was just what we've been working on in the gym, just coming into practice really.
We noticed you had a fairly steady start in the first round, but you seem to be looking for the openings and switching well to the body. Is that something you've been working on?
Yeah, me and Pete have been working on it. We know, because it's the longer rounds, we've been saying now since my debut, when I step up the rounds we'll start stopping people, and I can just pick my shots more, just pick my body shots, and then it just showed tonight that we're getting there, and it's onwards and upwards.
Now you're fighting under the MT Cape name, obviously, which adds that little bit more pressure. There's a lot that's expected of you. What do you want to be looking to do next? Is it just a case of get out as quickly as you can and get some more rounds under your belt?
I believe I'm on 25th of November, but hopefully we're stepping it up against someone who's coming back, firing at us, someone of a good opposition, someone with a winning record, and then we can step it up again. Then it's just, at the end of the day, it could be people like this without being funny, but look, it could be people like this at an easy pace, without going out of a gear, and we want to step it up, something to motivate us, something to really push yourself on them morning runs. So.
And what do you have to say to other fans that have been watching here tonight and also watching on our live stream? There's plenty of people who have got to see you for the first time, and have you got a message for your own fans?
Yeah, thank you to everyone for coming. It literally means the world to me. I can't describe what it means. I just love you all, and if you ain't been to one yet and you're watching at home and you like what you saw, make sure you're there at the next one, 25th of November.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you, mate, nice one.
As we say, the fights come thick and fast here. We've got our next one coming up, which I believe is Carl Williams. Carl Williams in with Sergei Tursunov.
We've been asked what time the main event's on. We've got another 2 fights beforehand, and then the main event is on. Done a bit of research on Sergei. Let's have a look who he's boxed. Yeah, Tursunov is 42 years of age from Russia. This is his 86th fight. His most noticeable opponent is Andrei Soritsu, who won the EBU title, the Italian, being the most noticeable name he's been against. And also Ian Butcher, the English guy, who lost to Kevin Satchor for the British, and Charlie Edwards, I believe. And he won the WBO European title. So this guy's been in with a lot of good names. So again, I can't see Williams phasing him, but you never know.
I was there for the Satchel fight, and I'm sure that was correct. That was the one that was up in Liverpool. It was a decent scrap. It's safe to say Tursunov is what I would refer to as a no frills away fighter. Very basic shorts, basic plain t-shirt. He's here to do a job, and again,
do you know what? He probably turned up wearing that as well. I've seen that a few times. Guys turning up in the boots, already got their hands wrapped.
Oh, it's madness what some of these guys come over. It's just a different way of life, I think.
Williams starting to make his way into the ring.
I did notice Williams has been in with a few 50-50 opponents, mostly the tough man, Horshaw, who always comes to win. I think he had a record of 4-5-1, and he beat him comfortably, so Williams is always going against the good guys.
And just while Kyle again takes a slightly lengthy walk to the ring here, a slightly grand occasion, we just throw out to Grosvenor Casino, who are our chief sponsor tonight and have been for multiple shows. It's been a really good deal that Grosvenor have got with BCB. They've been the chief sponsor for so many of these events, and an awful lot of people that are here tonight will be heading straight to the casino after the main event.
And you get a chance to meet Adam Harper as well, because his fight in Australia has been cancelled and he's on it like a Scotch bonnet.
Sadly, I've got training in the morning and I'm going to watch my coach's son, Jake Malvin, in an amateur show. So it's an early night for me tonight. No partying.
We'll see. I'll be Facebook Live in that later when he's out at 2 o'clock in the morning.
You may have to settle for Phil Barnett signing autographs tonight instead.
I'll pay to give them out.
I've also just noticed Ryan Aston in the house, and Ryan Aston gets a winner of Tyler Denny against Josh Stokes, Tommy Stokes even. That's what I've heard. So Ryan Aston will face the winner of tonight if they don't vacate. So obviously Aston's here to, see what his next opponent's going to look like.
Either of those would be a great fight.
100%.
But Stokes against Aston would be a shootout, wouldn't it?
I've seen a few sparring sessions between them both. I won't say what I've seen, but I think that'd be a great fight to watch. I'll leave it at that.
More corner work for Paul Mann and Errol Johnson, who are certainly keeping themselves busy tonight. Had a show on, as we say, in Northampton last night. Second show in 2 days for BCB Promotions.
Couple of questions here. Lauren has fought. She won every round. Danny Ball is on soon. Gary Evans. Good to see Craig Storer has just joined us. Craig Storer, who co-owns Frankie Gavin's Boxing Academy, doing his things for the local community. Dodd versus Stalker's not on this link, no.
Again, Frankie Gavin for so long, he was sort of the face of Midlands boxing, but the scene has changed certainly. We've got our first world champion in Cal Yafai. Sam Eggington must be on the verge of a big title shot soon. The scene's doing quite well, Adam.
I think Eggington's just a matter of fights away, isn't he? I think whenever they want to put him in, they put him in. Try and look for the best fighter. Welterweight for Sam, but he's done fantastic. He's an inspiration to all us guys who are coming up. He wanted to become a journeyman to get some money for his family, and now he's European champion, won a British title. He's only lost in prize fighter into Bradley Skeet. The kid's an absolute beast. You've got to take his hat off to Sam Eggington.
If he's American, they make a film about him.
Yeah, I think he is a Birmingham version of Rocky Balboa, but without as many losses, isn't he? I think he's a superb story and an inspiration for any boxer up and coming.
He's also the reason I made the biggest fool of myself ever at a fight. When he fought Frankie Gavin, I was in press row and lost my marbles a bit, and I was jumping up and down. You get all these slightly older members of the press who look very...
talking about me there, aren't you, Paul?
Look very strictly at you to say you shouldn't be doing that, but it was just a terrific war. A very unexpected one, but an absolute incredible battle. Showed what Midlands boxing's all about.
It was. You touched on Cal Yafai there, but I mean, you've got the three brothers on here. Him and Kamal obviously making waves in the programme. Little brother's still making big things in the amateurs.
Yeah, we expect to see Kalal compete at the next Olympic Games. Obviously, we're a little bit away from that at the moment, but these things do come round quick enough, and I think he'll look to head out there as his brothers have done.
Let's not forget in the amateur scene in Birmingham, we've got Niall Farrell from Second City, a great prospect. I can't remember what weight he's at, but he's a fantastic boxer. And obviously Ben Whitaker, done a few rounds with him, and let me tell you now, he's a superb talent. He'll go all the way. I think he'll win an Olympic gold, and I think he'll be a great professional.
And let's not forget Trainer of the Year, Rob McCracken, as well. Did he win?
Yeah,
yesterday?
he did. He won the award last night, and like I said, his work that he's done is there for all to see now. Like I said, the project that is Anthony Joshua, he's obviously going from strength to strength, and I'll be there sat in row ZZ, double Z at the Principality Stadium next month. I have to pack my binoculars for that one.
Do you know what a great fight? We haven't spoke about it for the first minute, but they're going at it. Williams has taken it to him.
Absolutely. Williams switches from his southpaw stance and is trading with Tursunov. He should probably be using his size and his strength advantage, but he seems to have calmed down a little bit after, you say, a fairly frenetic opening 45 seconds.
Yeah, he's fighting a bloke who's rather than a lot of guys at that level will be there to do a job. This guy looks like he feels like he's had nothing to lose and just go in there and have a bit of fun.
Like we said, Tursunov's been in with no disrespect to Williams, more noticeable opponents than Williams, so he's not going to fear him. But for a 42-year-old man, he's in good shape and he's coming to have a go, and that's what Williams needs. And I think Williams is a kind of fighter you can tell he'll thrive off that. He wants to be in these kind of fights. You can see that straight away.
Williams switches back southpaw to orthodox. Misses with a couple of short left hands inside. He seems to be struggling to close the distance on Tursunov.
Great fight this though. Absolute great fight.
Two big left hands. Tursunov looked like he was going to go down there.
He did.
It looked, I couldn't see from the angle we were at, but it looked like his glove was very close to touching
Just
the
managed
canvas.
to regroup. Yeah, he just managed to regroup. So we're setting another
huge left
That's
hand.
a massive
Great
one.
shot.
And you can see, like Adam's touched on, the pedigree or the experience that he's got to take a shot like that and still be on his feet.
He's been in with great champions, hasn't he, Tursunov? So, you know, I do think Williams could get him out though. I think Williams is hurting him. He's a much bigger, stronger lad.
Williams dropped his hands a little bit, that is. He was getting potentially a little bit overconfident, but a couple of decent shots inside.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a bit ragged now. Williams managed to land a sort of couple of uppercuts to the chest, you know, to the solar plexus in a way.
Tursunov fighting a little bit smaller than he is, and both men exchange a friendly verbal at the end of that round. I think it's a fairly respectful between the two of them.
I've given it a 10-9 round to Williams, and I think he was changing to southpaw quite a lot, and he's really whipping that almost shovel hook uppercut in to the gut of Tursunov. I thought he had a great round there, and I do think Williams is going to end up stopping his opponent.
And our ring card girl has arrived. I don't know where she's been for the first couple of fights, but she's finally showed up.
Something for the viewers at home. Maybe not all of you, but some of you will enjoy that. Please, guys, can you share, like the BCB page and share the link? Make sure everyone can enjoy a great night of boxing at home.
They offered Adam the ring card girl job. He's better looking, to be honest, but he was busy doing this tonight.
I can't do two jobs, guys. I can't multitask.
Start of the second round coming up here in Warsaw.
It wasn't quite enough of an onslaught to score that a 10-8 round, I don't think. I mean, there were some great shots that hurt him, but it wasn't ridiculously one-way traffic all the way through.
I think you'd have only been that if he'd have touched gloves, and like I say, the viewers at home may have got a slightly better angle than we did on that one, but another fast start to the round from Williams.
Williams back out again, hands down, he must feel confidence.
60 seconds isn't a long time when you've had a hard round before and when you've taken shots like that, but
Short
you know, he took them well and he recovered well by the end of the round, to be fair to him, hadn't he?
Short little left hook lands inside for Williams as he takes a...
What I have noticed though is Tursunov isn't really engaging now. He's more keen to just survive, get on the back foot, which makes you think Williams is hurting him.
The footwork's not great, Adam, is it? You can see whether it's partly his sense has been scrambled, but he's crossing his feet, he's sort of skirting away rather than...
Yeah, I think Williams is just rushing him, isn't he? You know, he's taking his time, and Tursunov feels rushed and there's not really any composure, and here you go, I think he's hurting him again.
It's a couple of left hands from Williams and a nice little right hand to the body again. A couple of shots just sailing a little bit high as he's trying to manhandle Tursunov into the corner, but failing to do so.
Oh,
it's a
what
huge
a
left
shot.
hand from
Great
Williams.
left hand, yeah.
Turned into southpaw,
It was
rear
like
hand.
a power jab, sort of switching stances just when he threw it.
It's three more. Tursunov should be looking to hold here. So the right hook to the body from Williams. I think it just glanced though, didn't seem to land particularly clean.
I can't see this going that much further, to be honest, but
Williams
it depends whether Williams sustains it.
Williams can't get complacent here though. He's doing great at what he's doing, but he needs to keep doing it, not try too hard, and just stick to his boxing.
Short little
It's
left
got
hook
to be over
inside.
soon. The referee's having a look. If he sustains it, a few more, another flurry like that, and I think the referee's stepping in.
Just had Paul Savant to say Williams end this soon, I think, and I agree with you, Sav. I do think he does. And then I've had Jake Malvin, Malcolm Malvin.
great body
God
shots.
beat Stalker quite comfortable, but Stalker was better than he has been.
Solid work to the body from Williams. He's guilty of a little bit of headhunting here. And he lands a short little left hook inside. Tursunov seems to be in survival mode here, Adam.
He's just
I think
trying to
he
reach
is.
the end of the
It's
round.
all over. This.
He's fighting on pride only at the moment.
I think if Williams just composes himself, doesn't smother his work, he could take him out here in this round.
Looks like Tursunov will see the end of the round.
Williams has got this. He doesn't need to try and force it before the end of the round.
No, I think he's got 6 rounds to do it in, another 4 after this, but he's going to go soon. Whipping those body shots in.
Chopping hands to the body there, right and left. Tursunov was caught very square on, which isn't where you want to be when you're with someone who's much quicker than you.
Yeah, his nose is in a bad way as well. That won't bother him, but it's a futile mission at the moment for him, and only pride will make him come out for the next round, I think.
So the sustained attack from Williams.
Another great round by Williams. All over it.
Tursunov's corner there had his chair in, literally was on the bell. I think they knew their man needed a little bit of a breather. Like I said, gives himself a little bit of time to regroup here, but
hey, we've got 2 ring card girls now. They're like buses. You wait all night for it to turn up. We've got 2.
2 have come along. We have had some boxing news. Sean Masher Dodd has beaten Tom Stalker tonight. Definitely something I didn't expect. The book has had it that way, but I think that may be the end of Tom Stalker's career now. I can't see a way back for him.
It's incredible, really. Stalker obviously was the captain of our Olympic side. You know, not necessarily the captain is the best boxer in the team, but certainly big things were expected of him, and just goes to show that just because you're a good amateur doesn't mean that skill is going to translate into the programme.
Well, I think Masher Dodd was a novice, Class A novice champion, Stalker Olympian, but a bit of a Sam Eglinton story maybe. Maybe, you know, he's the Scouse version of Sam Eglinton. He keeps the shock in the apple cart, and he's doing all right.
Isn't it funny though? Who was the previous Olympic captain before Stalker?
I'm not too sure.
David Price.
Yeah,
another Scouser, another accomplished, decorated amateur. And as a pro, it's just different, isn't it? You know, it works for some, it doesn't work for others.
Yeah, again, the first fight I covered ringside from a press point was David Price versus Tony Thompson 2.
Oh.
And that was an incredible night in Liverpool.
That would have been the first time I met you then, because I was there for both.
Yeah.
And you're there as a neutral, you know, working for the press association. You go straight down the line, you report it as neutral, and it's hard though with a bloke as nice as David Price. You know, he took a big step up, it backfired, and then to have the bravery to go back in there.
Yeah.
First fight back, going in with a bloke who's knocked you out, says a lot about the man, but possibly wasn't the right decision, but who knows.
I remember seeing Kelly Maloney and Lennox Lewis after the fight, and it was just it's still to this day one of the most awkward, difficult post-fight environments I've seen, and I've seen guys where home fighters have lost and nothing quite compared to it. I don't think.
Maloney had to be rushed to hospital after the first one. With a suspected heart attack. I don't think it was, but I mean the drama and the shock of it, I'm assuming had something to do with it. You don't know, do you?
That's what you want their managers and promoters really living for their fighters. Anyway, back to the action here. Williams again starting the round a little bit slower, landing little short left jabs to the body. Again, nothing at all coming back from Tursunov. I think Williams is just trying to manhandle him there, pushing him slightly into the corner and switching southpaw with that double left hand.
I personally think Williams is loading up too much, and I just personally think Tursunov is going to survive if he keeps doing this. I think he needs to relax, let his hands go like he did in the first 2, and I think he'll end it.
All he's doing is burning energy without needing to, and you know, I'm not necessarily against an opponent like this, but you leave yourself out there by swinging like that.
100%, he's there to be caught. I think he needs to relax, do what he was doing, go back to the slick boxer, and he can get a stoppage. We've had Conor Blackshaw say Tursunov's earning his money tonight, and he is earning his money. He's in a tough fight.
A couple of short little left hands on the inside from Williams. He's certainly the stronger out of the 2 men. Tursunov seems to be struggling when he's looking to hold, gets caught with a little short hand as he turned away there.
Almost ran away there. Crossing his feet, almost turning his back.
Again, a little couple of combinations there from Williams. Creating the distance well. The referee seems quite keen to let them sort of clinch and engage like this. He's not diving in to break up, which is always good to see.
That's a good shot. He's left himself open to that now. He's having a close look, the referee.
It's a big left hand from Williams there. Tursunov staggered forward slightly.
It's one of those situations where you almost might as well stop it, just because there's not really much point.
There's not a lot coming back.
Apart from...
It's fair to Tursunov. He covers it well there.
But yeah, he's manhandling him around the ring. There's nothing coming back. The defence isn't particularly calculated, or just get thrown into the ropes.
Williams had his man turn there.
In reality, the referee might as well waved it off there. If you've got a bloke facing the turnbuckle, I mean...
I think if Williams relaxes, I think he can stop him. And we've had a couple of people say the same. Paul Cervantes, with you on that, Harper. Need to get them hands flowing again, definitely. Andrew Osborne, making my night with boxing. Thanks, guys. Make sure you share this page, Andrew. Like and share. Gary Foster going to be watching this for a while now. Enjoy it, lads, but please share it and like the page.
It's warming up nicely now. I mean, obviously the main event's what we're all here for, but...
And it's warming up here as well, the lights on. So we head to the 4th round. Got a couple of contests to go for our main event tonight.
I'm not going to lie, lads. It's Danny Ball, MJ Hall, both come from the white collar scene. Matty Hall, I know him well. Even though he's had 4 and he hasn't won yet, they've all been on the road, 3 actually, but against good opponents, and he's won rounds. This isn't going to be as one-sided as people think either, I don't reckon.
Yeah, I've still got that fight to come, and then of course our main event where Tom Stokes takes on Tyler Denny over 10 rounds for that Midlands area middleweight title. As we say, it's good to see that belt getting a usage as Williams gets off to another quick start in round 4.
We've got Steve Ball, Digger Summers for the Midlands. That's definitely going to be a fight that's going to divide the city. Ricky Summers against Joe Sheriff, 50-50 split, I think.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back here for that one, and then again we expect another big crowd at the town hall for that.
I've just had David Johnson comment, why hasn't this guy knocked him out already? Sadly, David, mate, that's boxing, and these guys are tough, mate. It may look easy on TV, but it's really not. These guys are here, they're tough, and it's a lot harder than people think.
Williams struggling to push that jab out there, slightly crooked, throwing that little right hand as he switches back to a conventional stance. Decent little right hand landed inside there.
Christian Hoskin Gomez is now watching. I don't know if he realises everyone's been phoning him. He's on in half an hour.
Hoskin Gomez, what an away fighter that man is. He turned up last week for an 8-rounder. His opponent pulled out because he was scared of Hoskin Gomez. Gave him a 4-rounder. He was losing 2 rounds and then knocked him out cold. Yeah. Absolute bruiser of a man. And he's actually had a draw against Tyler Denny and lost to Tommy Stokes. So he's been in with both the main event guys tonight.
What value fighter. What a value in terms of pound for pound value to watch fighter, Christian Hoskin Gomez.
Williams takes a little short right hand inside there. He's going a little bit sloppy. He's carrying that left hand a little bit low. He certainly struggled to land as clean as he had in the previous 3 rounds. And Tursunov starting to be a little bit more active, but still being manhandled against those ropes.
It's a fine line. You don't want to see a fighter force it too much.
No, and
but you want to see him find that balance. You know, he could have had him at any point. The referee, if there'd have been 10 more seconds in the previous round, the referee would have stepped in and stopped it.
I think Williams is relaxing a bit more here, and maybe he's used a lot of energy in the first 3. But if he relaxes, he can take this guy out. He just needs to relax behind his shots.
It's a good shot. Like I say, the footwork's all over the place, isn't it?
It's a decent couple of left hands coming in here.
Great body shot there.
Tursunov ships a right hand to the body. I think Williams is looking for that uppercut.
Tursunov's there on guts alone, isn't he? You know, it's not through covering up or wiling us. It's just he wants to see that final bell.
Yeah, I think Tursunov certainly got his eyes on seeing that bell. He hasn't got too long to go now. And to be fair, as much as he's been staggered a little bit, he's not been truly hurt, I don't think, at any point during this fight.
I think Williams does his best work when he is relaxed, when he's changing into southpaw and he's whipping the rear hand in, and he seems to be smothering his work now and just trying a bit too hard.
Right there.
Another convincing round for Williams, 10-9.
Adam, how have you got it through for?
I've got every round to Kyle Williams so far. And now I've changed my mind. I don't think he is going to stop him. I think he's trying too much.
Can't change your mind. You've already put the tenner on the table, mate.
I think Tursunov will just see this out.
Yeah, it was strange round that, really, when you consider the fight was going one way, like you say. There was a bit of a sea change in that one. I don't know whether it gave him a bit. Tursunov got a bit of a spring in his step because he managed to survive that tough end to the previous round. But
he seemed to find a new lease of life a bit. I think if Williams relaxes, keeps switching, tries to mix up his work, I think he can get him out of here.
Yeah, it's the 5th round heading into here of a scheduled 6th rounder here at Walsall Town Hall. It's been all Carl Williams so far, but like I said, potentially how well his fitness will carry him over the next 6 minutes. We'll find out now. Williams immediately heads back on that jab, switching back into his conventional stance. I think we've seen a couple of guys on the bill so far who look to switch hit, and I think it's a very, very difficult skill to do, Adam. Obviously, the likes of Prince Nazim Hamid and Junior Witter have done it to great effect, but it takes an awful lot of schooling, I imagine, to do that successfully.
Yeah, it's not something that comes naturally to myself. I think Williams does it well. I think he, when he is relaxed, he's got his lead hand down here, and when he's letting his hands down now, he's hurting him.
Little short left hand inside there from Williams. His feet look a little bit fresher, a little bit more bounce to them as he moves around. And Tursunov holding the centre of the ring, but not doing a whole lot with it.
That's better from Williams, relaxing now. If he lets his hands go, he might catch him again.
Yeah, it looks like he's enjoying it a bit more now, doesn't he? Rather than forcing it.
Another left slip straight through the guard, another short little left jab to the body there from Williams. Left hand falls a little bit short. He is headhunting a little bit with that uppercut. It's a difficult shot to land at the best of times, Adam.
Oh, he's caught him with a great one there, though. Straight right hand. And isn't it funny, now he's relaxing a lot more. It seems that Tursunov's back in survival mode on the back foot, trying to survive again. Great boxing here by Williams. Oh, he did get caught there, though.
Yeah, nice little left jab there from Tursunov and a
into
short
it.
right hand.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, fair static head there from Williams.
Williams just needs to box behind his jab, work well, then switch up when he's inside.
Oh, Tursunov down. It was. Obviously the ref's going to class that as a push. He landed certainly quite heavy there onto his front, and whether he slipped or.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was from a punch.
So he didn't look from a punch from here, but it was certainly a heavy fall. The echo went round the hole here. And that might be the little breakthrough that gets Williams back into his rhythm. Short left.
Yeah, whatever it was, if he's rattled him a little bit, it might sort of distract him again. We see the footwork there. He's almost running away from it rather than using his footwork.
A little bit of an experience there from Williams. He handed a shot that was fairly low, but the referee didn't call it, and he very sportingly reached out his hand, but he potentially should have been punching.
Yeah, I agree with you there. He should have jumped straight on him. If the ref doesn't say anything, jump on him and let's get on with it straight away. But both these fighters seem to have slowed down a bit now.
Yeah, the pace has certainly dipped as Williams is manoeuvring well around the ring, but
I'm not sure Williams is particularly tired. I'd like to think he's pacing himself and just relaxing a bit more.
Yeah, I don't think he looks exhausted. I think he's just taking his time and relaxing, which is what we wanted. And maybe Tursunov was holding on for dear life at the end of round 5.
Heading into the final round here, Williams with a comfortable, clear lead. Adam, what do you think he needs to do to potentially look for that stoppage?
I think he needs to really relax, but I think his best work's come when he's gone into southpaw and he's almost used that shovel uppercut hook into the gut, and that really slows him down, and then work on the hooks after. But he's won every round. It's been a good win against an experienced guy. So we can take a lot of positives from this, but it'd be great if he could get the stoppage. And everyone, guys, can you please like the page, share the video. We have got Tommy Stokes versus Tyler Denny for the Midlands area title bout, middleweight, 10 rounds of action. You can sit at home and watch this.
And again, feel free to fire any questions in to Adam and ourselves. Could be on any topic, and what we're watching right now, future fights we've got coming up, what else is going on in the world of boxing at the moment.
And tell us who your favourite journeyman is as well.
Favourite journeyman is a good one. Please comment on that.
So what we say is, I'm saying Jody Meikle.
I'm being boring and going with Adam. It's just Warburton for me.
I thought you said I'm going with Adam. I was going to say that's a bit harsh. He's not lost a fight yet.
Williams has come out firing now.
Yeah, Tursunov just dipped down there again, slightly unsteady on his feet. No clear punch landed, but he does seem to be getting caught a little bit square on here. Short little right hand to the body from Williams. Tursunov comes charging forward, but doesn't particularly throw any punches of note.
I do think if Tursunov overcommits there, Williams could have whipped that uppercut, and he's good at whipping these shots in. He's got to be careful what he walks onto, Tursunov.
Tursunov's one of those journeymen that you can go, if you happen to have seen him before, then you've got an idea what he's like. But if he's one that you just book based on his box record, you haven't got a clue what's going to turn up, have you?
Oh, 100% not. He's been in with some big names. He's got some wins, some stoppages.
Williams walks onto a short little right hand inside, just dabs away at his eye a little bit there. I don't think it was a particularly hurtful punch, but it certainly woke Williams up in this round.
And I guess if you're not used to catching them, when you do catch one, you're thinking, just checking it hasn't cut, you haven't broke the skin.
And those little 10-ounce gloves, guys, you can feel every shot, believe me when I tell you that.
It's a better left hand inside from Williams, falls a little bit short and walks onto another little short right hand. I see him getting a little bit frustrated here as he's almost following Tursunov around the ring.
I think Tursunov's unpredictability is a bit of an issue. He got caught, Williams got caught there because he was never expecting anything to come back. And Tursunov actually fronted up and threw a little shot and it caught him by surprise.
Short little right hand from Williams, but again misses very slightly. Tursunov was staggered there with that right hand. His gloves just dipped as Williams popped that shot in and he took it fairly clean.
1 minute left of this round, just under 1 minute round. And I've got a feeling Tursunov's going to survive it. I think he's definitely on there for his next payday whenever he's back out.
Which I'm sure will be fairly soon. He ships another little left hook to the body. But again, I wouldn't say he looks comfortable in there because his feet and legs do seem a little bit all over the place.
He's ragged, he's all over the place. I've rarely seen a bloke who's, even as a journeyman, been in with the sort of people that he's been in, who's got such bad fundamental skills.
I think Williams' lack of headshots has cost him a little bit here. He's worked well to the body, but you aren't going to knock out these guys to the body.
Ultimately, Williams has worked very hard in this fight. He's let his hands go. Great win for Kyle Williams. I think he's shown some great skills, and I think he's won every round.
Fight goes the distance here at the Walsall Town Hall. We've still got Danny Ball versus Matty Hall to come, and of course our main event tonight, Tom Stokes versus Tyler Denny. For those just joining the stream, we'll be showing that fight in full, all 10 rounds. And I can share this page. Any questions or comments, fire into Adam or ourselves.
We've just had BCB boxer Sam Taffy Evans join on the page. Sam had a draw last time against Owen Jobourne, I think his name is, or Jobourne from Stoke, and I think they've got a rematch coming up. That's going to be another great fight for the Midland.
Yeah, I've seen Sam Evans fight a couple of times up close. It's a good fight. He'll be disappointed with his last result, but I'm sure he'll be looking to bounce back next time out.
Do you feel that they need to have a rematch? A lot of people are saying Jobourne was robbed. I wasn't there, but I thought it looked very close. He was the away fighter and got a draw.
I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Well, I think when you lose a fight like that, there's two routes you can go. Obviously, we spoke about Bryce Thompson earlier. You can dive right back in there with the man who, for the most part, I think a lot of people thought won the fight, or do you go a different route? Do you take an easier comeback? I think a lot of Errol's fighters seem to do that. They'll come back from a loss and they'll go with a 4 and a 6 rounder. I know Luke Paddock has done that and various others. I think that may be the more sensible approach, but I can imagine that Sam's desperate to get that result overturned.
You're not going to believe this, lads, but Williams won that fight. Somehow got the nod.
Quite basic, I think. It was a simple enough one to see that one coming.
Yeah, comfortable points win for Williams. He wins every single round, 60 points to 54. Like I said, not a difficult one to score that. I think the referee so far has had a fairly comfortable evening. Well, I imagine that will change when we get to main event time.
We have got a great fight next, so Danny Ball against Matty Hall. I honestly think this is going to be a great test, and I hope, well, I'm actually mates with Matty Hall, but I know Danny. I hope Danny's taken Matt serious because he's improved a lot. Every fight he's learning on the job, and I spoke to Matt earlier and he's really confident for this tonight. He really is coming in confident.
Adam, what do you think the differences are coming into the pro game, the difference between coming into it with an amateur background and coming into it from a white collar or a licensed background?
I truly believe I had quite a good amateur background. I boxed in the ABAs twice. I boxed some big names. I boxed your Eggingtons, Andy Robinson, who's a gym mate of mine now, Felix Cash, Aaron Morgan, Craig Morris, some great lads, some internationals. I had that experience of being in competitions, knowing I was against great kids. And then for these big fights, you don't get as nervous. I know there's a lot of prospects who haven't boxed anyone. If they come from the white collar, and it's a big step up when you go from journeyman to those prospects. We've all done that in the amateurs. Some of these guys haven't. But on the other hand, I'm not saying an amateur career means anything because we've just spoke about Tom Stalker and Masha Dodd. So it depends, the individual, it all depends on those guys, I think.
Yeah, I think the white collar scene is an interesting one for me. I've been to several white collar shows and See how hard the guys work. We've just been joined by Kyle Williams now. Right. Kyle, there's an interesting one for you. I doubt you're going to be in with anyone quite as awkward as that in your professional career. How did you find it?
Very frustrating. I knew I had the size over him, the power over him. I even had the skill ability over him, but I think I tried too hard tonight. And because I tried too hard, I smothered my own work. So I've got to learn from that. I've got to learn a lot.
How do you handle the frustration when you're landing so many punches, especially shots to the body? And as much as he looked staggered, he wasn't going to go down. He wasn't going anywhere, was he?
No, he was very stubborn, very stubborn. I know I've hit people with them shots and they've gone down. And I was hitting him with flush, unorthodox shots as well. And he just wasn't. He was stubborn. He didn't want to go. But I should have been better and followed up with 3s and 4s rather than singles. So I've got to learn from that again.
Yeah, potentially guilty of headhunting a little bit later into the round.
Yeah. I got lazy with my work. You saw in the last round I started to pick the speed up again. And again, he didn't live with me in the last round. But, we learned from it. It's a win. Can't be too negative. I got the win and we keep the journey going. But just a little bit of frustration there tonight from me.
So when you're looking to get out next, are you hoping to get into the fight out before the end of the year?
It depends what's on the table, really. I feel like I'm motivated for these fights as such, but I feel like I need a real challenge in front of me to really get the best out of me. I got lazy in there today, so I'm relaxed, and I need to be put under pressure, and that's when you'll see the best of me.
And just a quick word to your fans that are here tonight, and also the ones that are watching live on Facebook at the moment, who will have enjoyed that performance, even though, as you say, slightly frustrating one for you, but you got that win.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for all the support. I'm very lucky. I have a good sponsorship team behind me with JJX and Jobsworth. I've got a massive fan base from both Wolverhampton and Birmingham, so I think the future's bright as long as I keep getting that support, because without them there ain't these shows. And you can see tonight at Watertown Hall there's a massive crowd here tonight, and it's inspiring to fight on these shows when there's such a good crowd. So thank you to everyone, not just for my fans but the fans supporting the other boys as well, because it's not easy selling tickets, making weight and training your heart out to keep performing. So not just thank you to, like I said, my fans, but all the other fans here, because they're a part of my journey. So thank you ever so much, and keep on supporting.
Congratulations, Carl.
Thank you so much.
Here we go, guys. Matty Hall against Danny Bull.
This could potentially be the most interesting fight on the card tonight, taking that main event aside. I think every other fight we were pretty convinced what the result was going to be. You could almost fill those scorecards out before the fight began, but this could be an interesting one.
I think this is going to be a great fight. The advantage that Danny Bull has, I will say before the fight, is he's a home fighter, and the home fighter always has that advantage. But we're going to see tonight this. I can't see this fight going 4 rounds.
We've just been joined up here by Luke Paddock, who's got his own big fight coming up soon. Luke, tell us a little bit about the next fight you've got coming up. It's a huge one for you.
Yeah, it's a big fight. Obviously, it's an IBF Youth World Title. It's back here as well in my hometown, and I'm looking forward to it. And just getting the feel for some atmosphere now, and just letting the nerves settle now.
You've been in some good fights in the past and some decent fights. How does that compare? I mean, certainly I've seen you numerous times, and I'd probably say it has to be your biggest.
Yeah, definitely been my toughest fight up to date. Adam Haig's a good lad. He's got a good record, but I've done plenty of 10-rounders in the gym and in fights, and hopefully that'll get me through this test.
And you've also said got plenty of experience. You've been here before, and you've had these kind of tests. Something which again Adam has as well. It should be an interesting one.
Yeah, it'll be a very good fight, interesting fight. I've obviously got experience, and so has he, and let the best man win. But I've been training very hard for this, so I'm looking forward to it.
And tickets moving well for you?
Yeah, tickets are booming. 200 plus at the moment, so I've still got 2 weeks to go. Yeah, it's going to be electrifying in this place.
Another big fight coming up here at Warsaw. As I say, we've got Ricky Summers' fight as well. That the scene is doing really well at the moment.
Yeah, that's it as well. Like, obviously me topping the bill, but you've got likes of Jordan Clayton, who's a good prospect. You've got Ricky Summers. He's coming off a loss, but obviously a very good kid, talented. You've got a very good undercard as well.
That's great. And who have you got in the main event tonight? Again, we're a bit split on the panel here. I've gone for Denny, and Adam and Phil have gone for Tom. How do you see it playing out?
it's very intriguing. They both come forward. With good shots. I'm backing Tom Stokes, obviously teammate, good friend. I fancy Stokes.
Absolutely. Steady start from both men here, Adam.
Very cagey fight. Not a lot's been thrown. I think Danny Bull's got him on the back foot a little bit, but that's kind of Matt's style, so it's really hard to pick this one at the start.
Is it too close?
Minute gone.
So we were talking earlier, Luke, just about the transition from sort of white collar boxing to professional boxing. Obviously, you've gone straight into the program. What do you see the biggest challenges are for these guys who have been usually fighting on the unlicensed circuit and now they're fighting in a more conventional stance?
Yeah, this day and age, you're probably best to come from the white collar and unlicensed, as it's very slowed down. Whereas I had a very good amateur background, good pedigree. You're on your toes. You need to learn to slow it down. But as a white collar and the unlicensed, it's a bit more rough and tough, and that's what it's like in the pro game. I found it quite hard at first, but I found my feet. But both good men here tonight. Looking like to be a good fight.
I've got Ball winning this. I think he's just done a bit more work. He's forcing the fight.
Yeah, slightly rough on the inside there, but Ball lands a little short right hand. It's quite a scrappy start, to be fair, from both men.
I think it's always going to be cagey. I think Hall's got that kind of southpaw awkward style. You've got to be careful as you're going in. Yeah, but I do think Ball's done the better work. He's definitely taken it to Hall, and he's thrown more shots, and he's landed that straight right hand and a couple of wild hooks. So first round for me at the minute.
Yeah, and Ball defending well against the potential of that counter left hand. It doesn't seem to be anything particularly landing in the other direction as he's moving well on his back foot. The crowd continues to fill here. Good thing with some jokes. So they've opened up the top tier now. So there's a few fans set up at the top, which is always good to see. It's a great venue here, isn't it, Luke?
Yeah, very, very, very prestigious to me. Obviously, being home fighter, being a Walsall lad, just up the road from Bloxwich. I love boxing here. Great people, good show.
Guys, I've scored that a 10-9 round to Danny. I just think Matt Hall needs to do a bit more work if he wants to nick around or even draw around, but I think Danny Bull definitely won that round. I spoke to Matt earlier and he said his ambitions in boxing is to learn on the job. He's only had 15 white collar fights. He's dropped a lot of weight. He said he'd love one day the potential chance to win an area title. I know Luke's done the same. Now he's boxing for an IBF youth world title. You know, an area title, he's going to have to pick a few wins up along the way in his career.
Remember, guys, for those who are listening live on the Facebook feed, do feel free to fire your questions in, especially while we have got Luke with us for the time being. Phil Barnett has gone for a short break. Whether he returns, we shall see.
That's a bit better there from Hall. He needs to whip that jab out, be sharper, that's it. Straight down the pipe. But then Danny Ball is pulling it on him now.
What do you think, Luke, that Hall has to do here to change things up? Because at the moment he's having very little success.
Yeah,
I think he just needs to let his hands
first
go.
And foremost, use his southpaw advantage, get his foot on the outside, keep popping that jab out, trying to set him up for the backhand, big left.
And just as you say that, he lands a little short left hand inside. Again, failing to establish that jab, but has a little bit more success at the start of this round.
I think we've got two cagey counter punches here.
It's a bit like a chess match at the moment.
I think so often when we get the southpaw versus orthodox stance, you can get some fairly tricky fights. I think both men try to feel each other out at the moment. Decent left hand inside by Ball.
Good little short shots there.
Ball let his hands go out there. Caught Matt Hall with some good shots.
Yeah, left hook misses quite wildly there.
Oh, great countering hook there. Lead left hook.
Yeah, short left hand inside from Ball. Again, Hall just simply not doing enough, not throwing enough, not doing enough to convince Ball that he has anything he should be worried about.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. He hasn't done enough to keep him off or worry him. And I think Luke was right. It is like a chess match. There's massive periods of time where not a lot's happening here. The crowd isn't very loud. It's not the most exciting fight tonight. I thought this would really ignite. Good rear hand there from Matty Hall, though.
I mean, Luke, you've done this distance a few times. How and when do you look to push the pace this early into a fight?
I don't know. I've got quite a ridiculous pace, and so has Adam. I don't know. I think as you get more experience, you just start stepping up the gears. Maybe when you're in title fights, 10 rounders, 12 rounders, probably start stepping up at round 4. You know, you don't want to give too much away after that, really, or else you're chasing the fight.
Both men trade shots middle of the ring. Hall has a little bit of success with that left hand.
I have got this a more even round here. I think you could give it a 10-10 at the minute.
Yeah,
maybe someone can nick it in the last 30, but at the minute...
Yeah, I think Ball falling short a little bit as he gets caught with a cuffing right hand inside.
That's a bit more entertaining that round, a bit of a closer fight. We've got another big name in the building, Andy Robinson. I've seen Andy the Animal Robinson here somewhere, just down there. He'll probably be here supporting Tyler Denny. I know they were gym mates before. I think the Animal is a Tyler Denny fan. Remember, guys, please like the page, share the page, like the video, share the video. Free boxing coming to you tonight. Any questions you want to ask us, fire them in, we will answer them. How did you score that second round?
I think it was a very even round. I think, to be fair, you could argue that Hall potentially may have edged it. I just think that Ball got his pace slowed in the second half of the round. He was missing quite a lot of shots, but it was close. I can certainly see where you were coming from when you talked about the potential of an even round. There wasn't much in it at all.
I've gone a 10-10 round for that. I've got it 10-9 to Danny Ball and then 10-all in the second.
Hall missing slightly with that little right hand, just comes a little bit behind the back of Ball's ear.
Ball's come out looking busier now, and I think this is what he does need to do to secure this victory.
He certainly looks the stronger man in there as he pushes Hall against the ropes. And he lands a decent little left hook inside.
But I think this is a good test for Danny Ball in his second fight. Take the fact that Matt's lost 3 fights, he's coming here to win tonight, and that's what he needs to learn.
It's a decent attack on the ropes here from Ball. Not an awful lot getting through, but it's certainly pressuring his man into the corner.
Both hands down from both fighters, both relaxed, but both wary of each other's power. Maybe they've both been tagged or... Thoughts on this round, Luke?
Danny Ball's just pushing the fight now. I think he's winning the round, holding the centre. He's got some good shots off. But Hall's still in the fight, really. He's not really been hurt with anything massively. But turned out to be a decent fight so far.
Yeah, right hand gets through the guard there, but just misses off the shoulder. His Ball is starting to force that pace a little bit more. Decent right hand gets through there.
Yeah, Ball's letting his hands go and he's catching him now. I've got Danny Ball 1 round up, and after the third, if it carries on like this, I'll probably have him 2 rounds up.
I think it's at what point that Hall starts to push it a little bit more. Like I said, he's been very inactive this round. He's certainly not going to catch the referee's eye fighting this way.
No, I think he needs to push on now. Hall needs to let his hands go, and if he is ambitious for the win, he needs to let his hands go. If he just wants to get through till next week, he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's just got to let his hands go a bit more now.
Ball encouraging Hall onto him on the ropes there. Not sure how smart that is. He's obviously must be feeling confident, but you inviting pressure is never a great idea. Decent left hand lands in from Ball and a right uppercut.
Nice few combinations on the rope there by Danny Ball.
It's a huge right hand from Hall.
Oh,
Hall
big shot by Matty Hall.
Both men landing well in that exchange. It was all Ball, but that little short left hand that from Hall seems to trouble him a little bit. Ball took a step back and staggered slightly.
I've given that another 10-9 round to Danny Ball.
Yeah, Danny Ball round there.
Matty Hall needs to end it, or at least put Danny Ball down to get a draw, in my opinion.
All against Danny between the rounds. He certainly, both men look fresh as they head to the fourth. The pace has stayed pretty constant throughout.
I've just had Fred Florence comment saying he's sorry he can't be here. His son Alex's fight was pulled off last minute. His opponent's wife was ill. Sorry to hear that, Fred, after all the training you and Alex had done. Absolutely gut-wrenching, but he'll be back out soon, couple of weeks.
It must be a frustrating things. I mean, we saw with Frampton's fight, there's some of the most bizarre reasons that fights can come off, but when you've got something like that, there's just nothing you can do, is there? You just have to shrug and move on, really.
Last round coming up. It's been entertaining in patches, but at the same time it has been very cagey. Both fighters are cagey counter-punters.
Again, Hall holding the centre of the ring, but again, another quiet start from him.
Oh, big left hook by Ball.
Nice left hook by Danny Ball there.
There's a solid left hand, another one to the body inside.
It's getting scrappy inside a bit, but Ball is putting the pressure on him now and letting his hands go.
Ball lands another right hand inside, but again the distance was closed quickly by Hall, trying to smother Ball's work a little bit inside.
But at the same time, guys, Hall hasn't ever looked hurt. He's taken some big shots and he hasn't really looked hurt in the process.
There's a couple of clubbing left hands there, but nothing lands particularly clean for Ball.
Ball starting to let his hands go now, really putting the pressure on Matty.
Referee calls time. I think he's got the gum shield. That is out of Hall.
Gum shield's out.
Probably gives him a nice welcome breather, a little professional trick potentially.
Looking at Matty Hall's just expressions on his face, I'm not a psychologist, but he doesn't look confident. He doesn't look happy in there at the minute.
Hall lands a short little left hand inside. Again, nothing particularly clean. Seemed to bounce off the gloves.
I think Ball's really stepping it up now. He's putting the pressure on. He's letting his hands go.
Yeah, there's a lot of work from Hall, but nothing landing particularly at all here. Ball's growing in confidence as the fight goes on. A little bit of professional work on the inside as he wraps away at the left-hand side of his body.
Luke, would you agree? It's much better for your learning process fighting someone who's there, who wants to have a go back, rather than the walking punch bags who don't throw anything back.
Yeah, it's a good learning fight as he's having something coming back at him, so he can dodge and weave his way through shots, take a few shots in the process and learn from it. Yeah, it's a good fight for Danny Ball. I have him up by a round, maybe two if he wins this round, which he is at the moment.
Third in left hand lands inside from Ball. And takes another. Hall takes an uppercut, another one inside.
Yeah, Danny Ball's worked he's worked inside very well tonight.
I think as of now, Hall seems quite comfortable just to try and get through to that final bell. I think the ambition was knocked out of him a little bit in that third round, Adam.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's taken some big shots, and he has never looked hurt, but he's brave to stay in there. He's fighting back, and you got to give credit to Matty Hall. You know, he's come here to have a go tonight. But in my opinion, Danny Ball's taken that.
Good 4-round contest there.
40-37, Danny Ball.
40-37, Adam's unofficial card. I think I've got it pretty close as well.
Good to see Nathan Heaney, another BCB fighter, has joined the live feed. Nathan Heaney was a great amateur boxer, good record, and he makes his professional debut in Stoke in November. If you're a Stoke person watching this, get and support him. Great lad.
Luke's just heading into the round now to be interviewed about that fight, and it's a decent test for Luke. I mean, I don't know, I was there in the against the Upton fight when he lost, and it was a difficult one for him.
I was at the Upton fight. I was there. It was the day after I boxed myself, and Upton's a good lad. And you know, was that a light welter? Or was that lightweight?
It was English. It was English title.
Yeah, so you know, a new weight. Hopefully, he can win the IBF Youth World title and come back and progress to British or better honours. I think the ref had that 40-37, if I'm right.
Yeah, just struggled to hear that a little bit there. The MC facing the opposite way to ourselves, but Danny Ball definitely got the win, and he looks pretty pleased with his night's work.
I think it was a good performance by Danny, and massive respect to Matty Hall as well, coming out, putting on a good performance. Up next, guys, is Tyler Denny versus Tom Stokes for the vacant middleweight Midlands area title. What a fight. Please get your opinions in. Write down now who you think's going to win this. Tommy Stokes or Tyler Denny. Get your opinions in. Share the video. Like the page.
And again, here to our main sponsors, the casinos in Warsaw. They've, like I said, done huge things for boxing in this area. These shows don't work without sponsorship, and they've done a brilliant job. And as I say, there'll be an awful lot of people heading to the casino after this event, Adam.
Yeah, I think everyone needs to get along to the Grosvenor Casino, have a spin on the roulette table or game of blackjack, or just go for a drink of Diet Coke. But we need these guys to make these shows happen, so you've got to support the sponsors. Big up Grosvenor Casino. We've got a lot of Tyler Denny fans coming in. Everyone who's watching saying Tyler Denny. Ad Whitehouse, Tommy Ladd, bring that bout back. Danny Ball in the house to have an interview.
And Danny Ball's just made the fortunate climb up the steps after those 12 minutes of action. Danny, good fight for you tonight, a decent test. You happy with the outcome?
I am, but I'm not. First, because I know I sparred him, I thought it was going to be a lot easier than it was. I think I made it a lot harder for myself, trying to get him out of there because I'd sparred him and I thought I knew what he had. But he's improved since then, so take my ass off to him. He was really tough, a lot tougher than I thought he was going to be.
It looked to us up here that he could have shut up shop in that third round, and he seemed quite keen just to make it the distance. How difficult is it to take a fighter apart when they're fighting that way?
It was a lot awkward than the last time I sparred him. The way he's more of a slicker southpaw than he was when I sparred him. You could hit him with everything. So fair play to him. He's gone back. He's worked on things and he's 100 times better. Trying to break him down, that was the key. Trying to get to body and then slowly bring him down to the head. But obviously it didn't work.
Obviously finding 4 rounders at the moment. What's the plan next? Are you hoping to get out again this side of Christmas, or what's next for yourself?
We've got another home show, Bilston. Everyone from the gym, the Richie's RG Box Fit, we're all fighting from there. The 9th of December, so keep him busy till after Christmas, then we go again.
And there was plenty of people obviously here to support you tonight and watching online. What's the message to your fans and for those who may have seen you tonight for the very first time?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Trying to get the support in. Adam knows how hard it is to sell tickets. I'm stressing if you're going to be on the show, not selling enough. But I struggled this time because of Tyler being on the bill. I think he got there first before me, so I was in the back of my head. I was thinking, have I sold enough to get on the show? So that running through my head, it was something new which I've never had to do before. So, but I learn every time from it. So I'm just keep learning. That's all I can do, and hopefully I can keep improving and never know in a few more years. If Adam vacates that Midlands belt, I could go after that in a few years.
I've already vacated it. It's yours to go for, mate. You can have it.
Cheers, Dad.
Cracking performance tonight, mate. I thought you were brilliant. I thought
you.
it was going to be a lot closer, and you really came out, and I thought you did a great job tonight.
Yeah, I don't normally struggle with southpaws. I really enjoy southpaws, pushing them on the back foot and making it into a fight, but I just wasn't that sharp on my toes, trying to get that mid-range and then shuffle over. I just wanted a bit of a tear-up, as you probably, if you look back, you'll see. I just wanted to stand there and have a fight, which probably wasn't the cleverest of things, but I just wanted to get in my head that I could take a few shots.
Well, like you said, you're learning on the job, aren't you? That's a great performance. I mean, it's the best I've seen you look from sparring or in a fight. And Matty Hall came to win tonight, and there's no...
it was a local fight, we're both from the same area, so I know he wasn't just going to tuck up like a journeyman. He was going to come and try and stop my winning record. So fair play to him, man. Take my ass off to him, definitely.
Great fight, mate. Great fight.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Cheers, lad.
Here we go, Joe Sheriff, Ricky Summers in the ring.
It's an interesting one. I'd have to say, potentially the biggest, I think the biggest fight we've certainly seen in this area since maybe Gethin Diaz. I think for me, in terms of prestige of the names, I think it could potentially
What about
be a
Frankie
real cracker.
Gavin, Sam Eggington?
Well,
Bigger than that?
I'm thinking Warsaw.
Okay,
I'm narrowing it down to this exact venue.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think it's a great fight for the fans. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't know who my money lies with yet. I'll have to wait and see how they look in training, and it's a real 50-50 fight.
And we know the gyms in this area are particularly competitive. I think obviously from both sides they'll be expecting their men to win. Well, we're just moments away now, I believe, from the main event.
It is next. Tyler Denny versus Tommy Stokes.
This is definitely well worth a watch, guys. For those who are watching online, do share on your own Facebook pages. So there's many people as we can to watch this, and obviously, as we said earlier, firing any questions to Adam.
We've just got Manny Zabar joined, another BCB boxer in the Super 8 tournament. Manny Zabar only lost one, a real prospect, he can win this. And we've also got Michael the Madman Mooney joined, probably all the way from Tenerife. I think he's sending it up in Tenerife, probably in a bar somewhere with a pint of San Miguel, drinking with his wife Karen. Stay tuned for this, Mike. You've got a Midlands area title, mate.
It's an excellent format, that Super 8 tournament, one that I think Manny obviously dived at the chance of getting involved in, and fighting over those 6-round distances. I think he probably will fancy his chances in his opening fight.
I agree. 100% agree with that. I've just had another question. What do we think about Martin Geffin? Martin Geffin is an absolute credit to the sport of boxing. I watched an interview of him the other day where he said all his chances came on a couple of weeks' notice when he was expected to lose. Look at the John Wayne Hibbert. I think he's the perfect example of a professional boxer and how they should live. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and for me, Martin Geffin, it was the up and down performances. For me, I remember when he absolutely laid Tommy Coyle out, and if Coyle had only stayed down, what that could have done for Gethin's career. But he fought for a world title eliminator, fought on big shows on Sky, won those fights, and he may have been called into fights late, but he always gave a good account of himself, and I think he can be pretty confident that he made the absolute most out of his career.
100% agree. I think Martin Geffin, like I said, he is a fine example of how a professional boxer should live. He's been defeated, he's come back and he's won, he's shocked everybody. Massive credit to the man, What just a great professional boxer.
As we say, we are just moments away now. Like I said, the crowd's starting to fill up still. A couple more people coming into that top tier. Well, I'd say arguably you may get a slightly better view. It's not quite like the York Hall balcony, but it's
reminiscent of it,
it's
though.
a decent view up there.
Yeah, I was reluctant to make that comparison, but it is. It's going to be about as close as you're going to get away from Bethnal Green to somewhere like the York Hall in terms of trapping that atmosphere in and the sort of nice antiquities of the surrounding.
Guys, I did speak earlier on to Tyler Denny, and he had a bit to say to me, to be fair. All he did say is he predicts a win tonight. His sparring partners have been quite good level. Casey Benjamin from East Side, he was a very good amateur and a massive puncher from what I hear. Also, he said he's only done a few rounds with Sam Eggington, but that's your big, tough, come-forward fighter. And he's done something with Tommy Langford, so he's been in with great company. Eggington, Langford, Casey Benjamin is a great prospect. I've heard nothing but good things about this guy. He's been coaching, his coaching team's Lyndon Scarlett, an ex-pro, and I know he's been doing his S&C with Brett Smith and his nutrition. Personally, I work with Brett as well. I know that'll be bang on. And all he said is his aspirations is to win an English title after this, and if not a British. But he said he is coming here to win. And, he said he's not going to predict a knockout, but he's coming here to win.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know. I've just seen Sam Eggington somewhere. Actually, it'd be interesting if we could get him up and get his thoughts on it.
I've just seen that Ahara Davis has got the win over Farrell from that other small show going on at the Northwest. An interesting character, Ahara Davis.
Just a little bit.
I think he's a salesman all over. I don't think him personally he'd be an absolute idiot like he is on TV. I think he's a very good salesman.
A caricature of a man.
Yeah.
A bit like Adrian Broner, one of the nicest blokes I've ever met.
Yeah.
And then you press record on the camera, and the persona comes forward. You know.
Here we go, Tyler Denny.
Here we go.
Denny making it walk to the ring.
No.
Right, I want a big ring entrance here.
On Sky a few weeks ago, I can't remember. He fought Jason Bowles. He got top twice, but he came back and ended up losing on points. He was just in the ring 2 minutes ago.
Oh, Joe Sheriff.
That's him, yeah. Do you want to get him in, Sam?
It's not often you hear the producers chatting around the microphone there.
Tyler Denny in the ring in his camo gear. Tyler Denny 1-6, drew 2. His draws have come against Christian Hoskin Gomez, who we spoke about, and Simone Lucas.
We're now joined by the man who's just been in the ring, although not fighting for a change, Joe Sheriff. How are you doing, mate? I mean, obviously we're just in there to announce a fight against Ricky Summers, but you're just coming off a barnstormer in itself.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this fight. I mean, I know Tyler Denny through the amateurs. I've watched a bit of Josh Stokes? And Tom Stokes, sorry. And yeah, it should be a good fight, this should be.
And as I say, you've just been in there for a face-off ahead of what's going to be a cracking fight for yourself coming up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to be, I like to say, it's going to be a cracking fight. And, you know, both me and Ricky, it's a 50-50 fight. You know, he's come off the back of a loss from Midgley, where he fought a great fight, and I'm coming off the back of defeat from the Jake Bull fight not so long ago. So makes perfect sense, you know, and I'm looking forward to it. Be a great fight.
How are you feeling about that Bull fight now? Because you know it went a bit viral after. It was such a good tear up.
Say again, sorry.
The footage of the Bull fight went viral because it was such a good tear up after. How are you feeling come out? Because sometimes you can benefit from a loss as much as.
Do you know what? It's funny because a lot of people weren't talking about the result. You know, it was almost like they're talking about how good the fight was, and they're the kind of fights you want to be in. You know, I've had a good apprentice, so to speak. You know, I've fought on the small hall shows, and these fights you want to be in. You know, win, lose or draw, you're going to learn from it, and like I say, you know, being on the big stage, they're the fights you want to be in, and you know, learn a lot from that, you know. So,
and I guess these fights are the reason that you joined forces with Matty Macklin over at MTK.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, you know, they've been looking after me. I've had 5 fights with them now, and you know, they've got me on two matchroom shows now, and performed well on both of them, and it's raised my profile. So, again, coming into this Ricky Summers fight, you know, both of us have our profiles raised, and you know what a fight is going to be. So,
Joe, thank you, mate. Enjoy the main event.
That's good to have Joe Sheriff with us there. We're ready for our main event now. As expected, it's a town hall's come alive, very noisy. There's no prizes for guessing that it's the Stokes fans who are making the most amount of noise, but we're expecting a good one here, Adam.
This is going to be a great fight. I'm going to lay it down now. I think Tom Stokes wins on a close points decision. Both have come in great condition. I know that Tyler Denny works with Brett Smith, nutrition and S&C. I've seen Tommy in the gym, both in great shape.
And fair to say both look fairly confident on their walks to the ring and both look confident inside the ring. I think it'll be an interesting one as to whether Denny can potentially, as the speed advantage, can get boxing and moving and give Stokes something to think about early on.
What an atmosphere! What reception Tom's getting there.
I think Tyler needs to give him something to think about early doors to put him off.
And he could do it to want to shut that crowd up a little bit as well, you know.
Definitely, I think he needs to stamp his authority early doors.
So the fighters get their final instructions and we're underway. 10 rounds for the Midlands area title. Tom Stokes versus Tyler Denny.
I've been waiting for this all week. I cannot wait. What a fight we've got here.
This could be a good one. Again, keep your comments firing into the guys. Phil and Adam both looking on the live chat. Any questions, do fire in, but enjoy this one. Denny straight into his southpaw stance.
Oh, nice right hook. Feeling him out.
Little lead hand hook there by Denny.
I think we were just saying off air, Adam, for Denny to do well here, he's got to start quickly. He's got to impose that awkward style on Stokes.
I didn't expect Denny to have the centre of the ring. I thought he'd be getting pushed back. I'm quite shocked that he's got the centre of the ring. He can.
It was a statement of intent that he sort of came out looking, managed to land that right hook early on, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he needs to come out and really stamp his authority and let Tommy know that he can hit.
Yeah, a little chopping shot to the body there from Denny. Stokes yet to really let his hands go as we're going midway into the first round.
And like we said before the first bell, to silence that crowd, take the wind out their sails a bit, and in turn do the same to Tom.
100%. Needs to be doing that.
Denny circling round to his left side as he fires in a couple of little short shots, lands a decent right hand over the top.
It's almost like a looping hook, a looping lead hand hook over the time, every time.
Denny with a lovely straight left hand there. Stokes has walked onto a couple of shots early here and he falls short with his own left hand.
Oh.
Successive left hand shots for Denny.
Tyler Denny's caught him with a 3 or 4 punch combination there. Stokes hasn't replied with anything yet.
For the first half of the round, I wondered if Stokes was boxing within himself, content to feel it out and see, but we've just seen it sort of turn there in the last 30 seconds a minute when he's taking shots that you wouldn't expect him to normally take.
Yeah, I think Denny's letting his hands go and he's doing the better boxing. First round for me so far is definitely a Tyler Denny round.
Yeah, Stokes catches a little cheeky left hand inside there. Denny got caught with his hands down going backwards as both men trade shots in the middle of the ring. Another short little right hand over the top for Denny. Didn't land particularly hard, but
just
it's got the feet tangled back. Just
got the feet tangled there, as as often happens with a southpaw and orthodox fighter. But
Stokes has yet to really get that jab working. Struggled to land it so far in the first. Another little short cuffing right hand there from Tyler. And another straight left hand.
Great left hand.
Right down the middle.
And straight forward, set it up with a jab through the left.
Denny growing with confidence in this opener. And Stokes, strange one there, touched down with his left hand, feet coming together maybe, Adam.
Yeah, it looked like a strange one. It didn't look like it affected him. Straight back up, straight going for. But Denny is absolutely dominating this first round, in my opinion.
Stokes landed a jab yet?
I think
of note.
No, falling short multiple times. He's struggling to get himself in. It's a clear Denny round for me, Adam. How did you see it?
Definitely a Denny round. 10-9 Tyler Denny. I thought Tyler, that lead cupping hook that kind of goes over, that was working every time, and then he was letting his rear hand go, and it was catching Tommy. Whatever he threw would catch him.
Adam will know better than me, but I always seem to think that a good southpaw's always got a better standing psychologically and in terms of tactics than a good orthodox, because a southpaw's used to fighting right-handed fighters, whereas as an orthodox fighter you'll come across southpaws less.
Yeah, I'd agree to a certain extent. I think it's all on the individual. I've boxed a few southpaws in the amateurs, not as a pro yet, but I just tried not to let it faze me. I think they're all the same. You just got to take it differently and try and work on it as best you can. But I do agree that southpaws are used to everybody, and the orthodoxes, I probably would agree with you on that one.
Look like some strong words there from Errol Johnson into Stokes' ear. I think he certainly does need to sharpen up a little bit after a difficult opening round where Denny sort of dominated throughout and Stokes failed to land anything.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Stokes reacts to that.
Another beautiful straight left
We've
hand.
just seen it, I think.
The sweat popped straight off Stokes' forehead there. Always looks dramatic for the crowd, but it was a decent shot.
Got to be careful he doesn't get too rash, hasn't he, Adam? In terms of storming, the pride thing kicks in and you get caught with a shot and you expose yourself even more.
Definitely, I think he does have to be careful because Tyler's looking sharp and strong, but at the same time I don't think he can outbox Tyler. I think he needs to take it to him, and I think he does need to make this a dogfight and a fight. Tom is tough and he's strong, and he needs to. This is more like it. Put the pressure on.
Stokes has Denny trapped up against the ropes. He lands a couple of decent body shots. Denny counters with a nice little short right hand there. Did well to get himself off the ropes as he takes back to the centre of the ring.
He did. He dealt with that well there. It's the first real sustained pressure we've seen from Tom, and the first time that we've seen Denny on the back foot.
Denny catches that little right hand, but didn't land with quite as much power. I think Stokes is starting to get a little bit wiser to that shot now as the round continues.
I think Stokes needs to make it a shootout. I really do. I don't think he can try and outbox Tyler. He's too slick and awkward. I think he needs to get in there, rough him up, start trying to wear him down. But what a fight this is.
I can't see Stokes winning if he lets Denny have the centre of the ring.
No, he can't try and outbox him. I think he needs to stick it on him and outwork him.
Denny always the first one to get his punches off. Stokes seems to have been really struggling. Throws a kind of cross left hook jab.
Both landed there.
Bit of a head collision there, I think, between the two of them. Didn't seem to have had any particular damage.
They both seem to lean in with the backhand and maybe the heads clashed as a result.
Well, I think Denny's landing a 3-4 punch combination, and then Stokes isn't managing to get anything back on him.
Decent little short left hand from Stokes. But again, it's Denny with the crisper, cleaner work.
Far quicker. Denny looks far quicker than Tom.
I think the speed difference is apparent. But Stokes is still right there. He's still on the front foot.
I think Stokes maybe felt in the first round that if he came into it thinking perhaps he could walk him down and walk through shots, I think Denny proved otherwise in the first round.
Definitely, I think he's definitely made him aware that he can punch.
If that was his tactic, then he's going to have to rethink that pretty quick.
Oh, very quick. Luckily he's got 10 rounds, but we've got 30 seconds left of this round, and I'm going for a Tyler Denny 2 rounds up if it stays like this.
Yeah. Denny did well then earlier, just to circle himself off the ropes, throwing out that single left hand lead.
Just up.
That's a beautiful left hand
great
again.
run.
And that Denny nods to the crowd. He's in complete control 2 rounds in. Another sharp left hand.
Just had Malcolm Alvin comment saying Tommy needs to stay in the pocket, and I couldn't agree more. Tommy needs to be up close. If he wants to impose himself, he needs to stay in the pocket, work inside, and really rough him up and man him up. We've also got Sam Eggington join the page. Big respect to Sam.
He's hiding from us. He's in here somewhere, but he's not.
Here somewhere.
He's hiding from us.
European champion. Good to see him following BCB. Massive respect to Sam.
I think, Tom needs to throw punches that are going to count rather than throwing them and loading up for the sake of it. Needs to be a bit cuter.
Are we being a bit too critical? Maybe we're only 2 rounds down.
Potentially, I think if it goes late, to start with, I'd have thought the later rounds would have suited Stokes, but Denny's looking slick. He's not really wasting a lot of shots. Everything he throws, he's hitting him with.
Yeah.
But we are critical because we know what Tom Stokes is capable of as well. Yeah, it's only 2 rounds in, but at the moment, Errol looks more critical than we're being.
Absolutely. Denny popped himself off the stall there, and he's got right back to work. Another short left hand inside.
Yeah. Sam Eggington said he does appreciate it, but he's not here, he's in bed. Sorry, Sam, they thought they saw you earlier, but obviously you're at home resting for the big European fight.
Thought he was too good looking.
Obviously enjoying that rest day before Peggy has you in the gym tomorrow.
I was going to say, Sam has his own huge fight coming up on another big bill next week. As we were talking earlier, can't be too far off that big title shot now. He might need to do what you're doing, Adam, and get his passport out and head down to Australia.
I think he's heading to the States. Forget Australia, he's going over to fight Keith Thurman, I think. Anyway, it's a bit of a better round by Tommy Stokes here.
Yeah,
but Tyler
definitely.
is controlling everything he does. He's tying him up, and
Yeah, some smart work inside here from Tyler. Landing his shots, then getting in and holding. The ref seems quite reluctant to break them apart because they are still throwing punches. But Stokes again just simply isn't busy enough for me. Another
and
short
there's
right hand from
there's
Tyler.
that overhand hook, that lead overhand hook that's been working all night.
It's not a particular hurtful punch, Adam, but it must be frustrating when you're getting caught with shots like that so frequently.
Yeah, definitely, but I think, like Malcolm Malvin said, you've got to get in the pocket. That's Tommy's attributes. He's being up close. Oh, and Tyler's...
Huge left hand from Tyler. It's beautiful, we have to say, it's beautiful work inside from Denny. Lands a right hand shot to the body.
He's letting himself be there to be hit. Stokes, that's the problem.
He's either got to jump on him or just get out the way. Not stay in range where he's not throwing anything. If you're in range, let your hands go and rough him up. If not, get out the way.
Stokes did a slightly better job there again, his gloves up. It's the same punch that's coming at him. He's just struggling to adjust to it. But he lands a decent right hand to the body himself. And he has Denny trapped in the corner.
That's a bit more like it.
Crowd react to that solid work from Stokes.
That's much better work from Stokes, but Denny's got the centre of the ring again.
The feet coming together again there. I think it's what Stokes needs. He needs to make it messy and scrappy.
That's good. Better head movement there from Stokes. Thinking about it a bit more now. Giving Denny something to think about.
Bit of a planted shot there from Denny. Didn't seem to have any effects on Stokes. But he walks onto a little short left uppercut there.
See, this is what Stokes needs to be doing more of now. Putting the pressure on. Working down, but working as he's going in. Punch his way in. Not just walking, punch his way in. Get in the pocket.
Because he's taking too many shots, but he's shown that he can take them.
I think Stokes had success, but another Denny round for me. I've got it.
Yeah, a strong combination of punches landed at the end of that round by Tyler Denny.
I've got Tyler Denny 3 rounds up.
I don't think there's many people here, even the most die-hard Stokes fans, that would disagree with that.
Yeah, it was a better round. It was a better round for Stokes, but it probably says a lot about the first two. That was his best round, and he's still probably come out 10-9 down on him.
Yeah,
still a long way to go in this scheduled 1 for 10 rounds here. The Midlands title fight is on the line for both men.
What a fight. I'm not going to lie. Tyler Denny has shocked me coming out here. I thought Tommy Stokes was going to put it on him, and I thought it'd be a close fight, but Tommy would get in there. But at the minute, Tyler Denny has completely shocked me. I'll be honest, my money lied with Tom Stokes tonight, and Tyler Denny's proven everybody wrong, well, myself anyway.
I think Denny's game plan to come out there and take the fight to Stokes and get the centre of the ring, even though Stokes has now got the centre of the ring more, I think it probably disrupted Stokes' game plan.
100%. I did say from the start, I hope they haven't underestimated Tyler, because you cannot afford to do that at this level. But I do still think Denny is going to tire down the stretch. That's my personal opinion. How he deals with that, I don't know, but I do think Tommy will start to get to him.
Short little right hand landing inside there from Denny. Fairly quiet opening 30 seconds to the round. Another counter left hand as Stokes found himself planted there. Another right hand lands. Denny going to work here, Adam.
It's that hook every time. He starts with that lead hook and is catching Tommy every time.
It's a dangerous game, Adam, though, if Stokes is hoping that Denny's going to slow. Like you say, there's every chance that he will, because he started so well.
I think
but he can't afford to wait and hope that Denny...
It would be a naive mindset to think that someone hasn't trained for a 10-round fight, and he's not wasting a lot of energy.
No, he's not.
Remember, guys, keep your comments coming in. We'd love to know what you think of the fight and the action here. And we've got Adam Harper sat next to myself. Any questions you got for Adam, he's on the feed, send them right in. Denny just controlling the pace here, manoeuvring around the ring well.
He just looks controlled, composed.
That was a bit of a better body shot there by Stokes. That little right shovel to the... Oh, but then Denny's come back.
Hand again there.
Yeah, all Stokes' good work there, but he's been undone slightly with that little short right hand.
It's not an orthodox right hook that Denny's got, is it? I mean, obviously it's not orthodox in terms of southpaw, but it's quite a unique winging right hook.
It's almost one that you don't see coming, and it's coming looping over the top, and that's the one that can scramble your senses. This is a much closer round, I think.
Definitely.
It's a decent shot landed there by Stokes.
Oh, great right hand.
He has Denny hurt against
Great
the
right
ropes,
hand
but
from
Denny
Stokes
comes
there.
back with a beautiful left hand of his own.
Comes back with the right hook.
The crowd are on the feet here at the town hall. Both men exchanging decent shots. Stokes with another right hand.
Stokes.
This is what we need of Tommy Stokes. He needs to get in there.
This is the way that Stokes can win the fight, isn't it? The only way, probably. Because it's what suits him best.
The two left hands inside there from Denny again. Stokes having to take an awful lot of punishment just to get his shots off.
Another winging right hook from Denny.
This is a closer round again, but
it's the closest round and the best round, I'd say.
But I'd still probably lean towards Tyler Denny. Maybe I'm seeing differently to everyone else, but for me, Tyler Denny is still doing the more effective work for the longer period of the round.
No, I'd say it's hard to disagree with you there, Adam.
Are you going with a Tommy round?
Yeah, for everything that Stokes is doing.
I'm going to go 10-10.
I think that's a Denny round for myself. How did you have that one, Adam?
Yeah, the Tyler Denny round, 10-9 again.
Well, Adam has it a shutout on his card so far, 40-36. 4 rounds down of his scheduled 10 rounder. Let us know how you've got it scored in the comments. We'd love to see your thoughts and opinions, but as much as Stokes is coming back into this fight, he's having, as I say, having to take quite a few shots in return.
Showtime, Sean Davis has joined us, another BCB fighter. He's got a British title fight up in Newcastle this month, I think it is. Good luck to you, Sean. I hope preparation's going good. Let us know how you're scoring this one, mate. Denny is boxing class. 4 rounds to Tyler, I agree. Tommy Nichols, 40-37, you couldn't argue with.
You have to say though, chaps, it's living up to its billing so far.
Oh, great fight. What a fight this is.
Heading into the mid-stage here, heading into the 5th round. Again, Stokes with a very aggressive start.
Yeah, that last round could have been a turning point, even if you gave it to Denny. Stokes obviously had a lot more success than he had before.
Yeah, I agree.
He can sort of reset and think, you know what, at this stage of the fight, I can start the fight again.
Yeah, and if he can start to hurt him, then he can change the fight, but he needs to start doing something different. And maybe off that last round, that little bit of success, he can start working on that.
Quite a start to the round from Denny, who's just picking out that right hand. Stokes lands a couple of good shots inside.
Denny fires back straight away, though.
Denny's handled him well, though, to be fair.
It's almost like when Denny gets caught, he probably looks to the crowd more hurt than he is, but he seems fairly comfortable even when he's been shot on the ropes. Well for me. Beautiful work there from Denny.
That's
lovely
a nice
left-right left combination.
There's your combinations. Spinning off. Oh, rear hand. Tyler Denny. I do think Stokes needs to pull it on him. He needs to start working him, punching his way in.
He's not going to win a boxing match, that's for sure. He needs to make this more of a fight than it is. But that's better from him.
I think he's hurt him with that body shot.
If I was him, I'd close the distance. Not necessarily be throwing alpha leather all the time, but close that distance down and then pick your shots while you're on the inside. But
yeah,
Adam's going to tell me that's rubbish because he knows it and I don't.
Stokes forcing the pace here in the 5th round. Denny looking to take a little bit of a breather. You can see he's looking out for those counter punches.
I do like Denny's composure, you know.
Yeah, seems very calm in there. Seems comfortable fighting on the inside.
Oh!
Another solid left right hand.
It's this kind of work that I think's nicking the rounds for Tyler Denny. Not nicking them as in stealing them, but he's doing the more effective, better work. There we go again.
It's got to be very demoralising, Adam. Denny just walking in, landing every single counter punch.
Counter uppercut there.
Oh, another left hand.
Tyler Denny, I hate to say it, is taking Tommy Stokes apart at the minute.
Stokes is cutting a frustrated figure in there now. Still coming forward, but he's taken some heavy shots in this round.
I tell you
that it started better, but just can't maintain the pace for these 3 minutes, Adam.
I think the variety's so good from Denny as well.
Oh,
Stokes is hurt there. Stokes said he's coming in for the finish. Everyone's on their feet. Saved by the bell there, Tom Stokes.
Stokes desperately needed that bell. Denny had him hurt. He had him wobbled.
He was definitely hurt.
It was a long left hook, left hand. Great time for the bell for Tom Stokes there.
Now we're going to see who the conditioning's from. But that was definitely another 10 round. I got it 50 points to 45. But Tyler Denny has shocked me massively. What a fight this is turning out to be.
He was on wobbly legs there, Tom Stokes. He's only got 60 seconds to recover from it.
Both fit lads, but yeah, this is going to test his fitness and conditioning now.
I picked Denny pre-fight, but I didn't think he'd be landing shots as sustainful and punishing as this. I thought potentially, as we saw, he could outbox Stokes, but he's hurting him, and he's hurting him frequently, Phil.
He's fighting as close to the perfect fight as is possible in boxing at the moment.
This is a boxing masterclass at the minute, but let's not forget we're halfway through an area title fight. And Tom Stokes
getting better with every round, so
it's a great fight.
God knows if it goes 10.
Stokes was very late coming out of that round there. Errol getting his extra couple of seconds. I think he needed them.
But let me tell you this: Tommy Stokes is a fit, tough lad. He won't be going down easy.
And if anyone could turn it around with one punch, it's someone like Tom Stokes.
Tom Stokes has got power. But let's have it straight. Tyler Denny's got power. We've seen that tonight.
We've seen it just a few seconds ago.
There's only one man who's been hurt in this fight, and so far is Tommy Stokes.
Sure, no left hand lands inside there from Denny. He seems quite content at the moment to wait for his counter opportunities and throw in that lead left hand from that lovely southpaw stance he's got.
Little left hook from the body there, to the body as well there from Stokes. He possibly could do with doing a bit more than that, breaking him down and being a bit more patient, playing the long game in a 10-round fight and tiring him out, Adam.
Well, I spoke to Errol Johnson earlier and the plan was to go to the body. Maybe he needs to do that a bit more, but he needs to get in and work, not load up. He seems like he's loading up there, predictable.
Stokes had his man in the corner then and just didn't seem to let his hands go. You can tell he's looking a little bit frustrated.
He took a glancing uppercut as well when he didn't capitalise on the positioning. If it had connected properly, he could have been in bother.
He's clearly wary of what's coming back at him. Denny's punch output certainly slowed this round. The referee warned Stokes for pushing, and then a little bit unfortunate, I thought. Denny was dipping his head a little bit there.
I don't think we can begrudge Denny a quieter round. If anything, it could be a tactical thing, and he's doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah, he might be taking a breather. I've still got it as a close round, though. I haven't got it one-sided. I'd probably have it a 10-10 round at the minute. Halfway through it, and anything can happen.
Stokes again holding the centre of the ring, forcing Denny back. Denny's shot's looking a little bit loose now, a little bit wide.
But the thing is, he's going to win rounds with this because he's doing the, boxing's about how many punches that land, and Tyler Denny's landing a lot more punches at the minute.
I think Stokes needed this sort of round. The slow pace will probably suit him a little bit. He's in such difficult trouble at the end of round 5.
Better head movement from Stokes there.
Oh, Tyler Denny again! The crowd have gone wild here. What a fight we've got for a Midlands area.
Straight right hand there from Denny.
And there's that hook again, that lead hook.
If nothing else, Stokes is showing his whiskers tonight.
Absolutely, he's standing right in front of Denny, possibly to his detriment, but that's where he needs to be.
Got to close that distance down.
Oh, more work by Tyler Denny there.
Yeah, little short combination. Not sure how clean it landed, but in terms of scoring punches, another left hand.
I still think there's a chance Tommy Stokes can turn this around if Tyler tires, but at the minute I've got Tyler Denny another round up. I've got that 6 rounds to Tyler Denny.
Guys, let us know in the comments how you're scoring it. I think we're pretty unanimous up here that it's.
It was looking, I think, like Stokes' best chance of winning a round, and then the last minute of it, Denny just took control again, and
he just seems to be letting his hands go and doing the more noticeable work. I think my personal opinion is when Tom is there, he's either got to be out of range or he's got to be on his chest and working. So Tyler can't let these slick shots go.
Those 6 rounds have flown by here as we head to the 7th. Denny with a comfortable lead. Possible signs that he's slowing down a little bit in that last round, but he could have just been taking a bit of a breather.
This is going to be the real test of fitness and conditioning now. We've seen Tommy Stokes hurt in round 5. He's come back out. He looks fresh enough. But now we're going to see a real test of conditioning and fitness.
head into the 7th. Adam, what's Stokes got to do different here to turn this around?
Like I keep saying, I think he's got to impose his strength and start trying to bully him and man him up. Not trying to outbox him from there. He needs to get on his chest and let his hands go. Rough up Tyler. Make it a dogfight.
It's a better start to the round from Stokes.
This is more like
on
it.
the ropes.
These are glove shots. A lot of them are glove shots. There.
Oh!
Great left counter.
Oh, and Tyler Denny took them all.
Quality work is by Tyler Denny.
Tyler Denny took it all on the gloves, and then he came back with a counter and caught him again. This fight.
Stokes must have landed about 5 or 6 shots there, straight on the gloves.
A lot of them are glove shots.
Straight on the gloves.
And then Denny waited for his chance and countered beautifully, then launched another assault. That's why he's winning every round of this fight.
100%. I'll tell you something.
Tom needs to get up close, cut down the range, and then throw intelligent shots rather than going into range, panicking and throwing for the sake of it.
Stokes caught reaching in there a little bit, falling a little bit short with that right hand.
One thing I'll tell you about Tommy Stokes, he's got a granite chin. Some of these shots would have put people out. I'm telling you that now. He is one fit, tough lad. And that's why he's still in with us.
Another big right hand from Denny.
Yeah, great right hand.
Huge right hand from Denny.
Little uppercut there as well.
Stokes' defence is looking a little bit scattered now.
And again he's caught.
He's starting to follow Denny around the ring. But he's walking onto a lot of shots. Denny just comfortable to sit and counter punch.
Bit better work by Tommy, but Tyler's tucking up and taking it all. He's tucking up, catching it on the gloves and letting his hands go.
Denny's fighting a perfect fight here for me.
Oh, 100%.
And Stokes' his demeanour seems to have changed again after that early exchange in the round. He's like you said, he's following him around the ring now.
Yeah, Stokes has his man trapped in the corner, but nothing's coming
turned
through.
him.
And Denny's just turned him round.
The crowd are going wild. What a fight we've got here. It's round 7 of an action-packed area title fight.
Beautiful work that from Denny, but he catches a little short left hook coming in there. Stokes is still very much in this, but the classier work is certainly coming from Tyler.
It's obviously a partisan West Bromwich crowd here, and they don't want to see the fact that a lot of Stokes' punches are landing on the gloves. They're just seeing him landing shots, whether it's on a glove or a face. Whether the judges are seeing the punches accurately is another thing.
Stokes is certainly forcing the pace, lands a nice double jab there. He has his man in the corner, but again, a little short left hook gets through, but not much else, Adam.
He's not getting through with a lot of clean shots. Oh, and he's caught again with a rear
right
hand from Tyler Denny. But
by left.
Let me tell you, Tommy Stokes is one tough man. What a fight.
Stokes taking some heavy shots there in the middle of the ring.
John Pegg's just joined us. He's missed the last few rounds. How's it going?
It's been really boring, John. You haven't missed anything.
I've got it. 7 rounds, all to Tyler Denny. What a fight this is.
I'll tell you what, I've got a headache just watching it.
Oh, I wouldn't want to wake up in the morning after these two have been going to war.
It's a shutout so far on Adam's card, and I can't say I disagree. Stokes has made some adjustments. He's managed to get Denny trapped in the corner numerous times in the last 2 rounds, but the cleaner, harder to more damaging punches are coming from Denny.
I don't think it's been an uncompetitive fight. It's been a great fight like we thought, but I just didn't see Tyler Denny being as punch perfect as he has been.
This almost reminds me a bit of I'm not going to compare him to the fighters, but a Calzaghe Lacey style fight. So the southpaw is just being slicker, out-moving him and out-punching him.
A different styles suit different fights. Styles make fights. Styles suit fighters.
And this fight is definitely suiting Tyler Denny at the minute. But I still think there is hope for Tommy Stokes. But he needs a knockout now. On my card, he needs a knockout.
Both men look fairly fresh off the stalls as we head into the 8th round.
John Pegg commented back. Johnny said he's been down your gym sparring all your lads. And maybe that's paid dividends because he's looking absolutely fantastic at the minute. That lead hook again. All night he's caught him with it.
Stokes lands his own left hook inside though, Adam. He needs to do his work here when he's got his man trapped on the ropes. There's very little going through.
He needs to pick his shots inside, not get reckless, because that's when he's been getting caught big, inside when he's reckless.
Denny ties Stokes up in the corner.
This is where he needs to man him up now. Rough him up in the side.
So much heart in that ring, boys.
Stokes lands a little chopping right hand to the body, but eats a left
straight
jab.
Away, takes one in return, yeah.
I've just had a comment saying I can't score a 10-10 round. I don't think there has been a 10-10 round. Maybe one if you're being generous.
Stokes has Denny stumbled here.
Denny does look. It's the most effective. It's the most affected Denny's been by a Stokes punch.
A couple of little right hooks to the body.
Yeah. He winced when he took that right to the body.
Denny with a club in left hand. But Stokes is looking arguably the stronger man in there.
Denny's
now.
looking a bit tired for the first time for me.
He's coming on now. But Denny is firing back.
There's less snap in those punches now from Denny though.
No,
for the time being, he's just taking a couple of bad body shots.
But then he's just thrown a 3-punch combination, which is levelling it up, I think.
Yeah, it's got to, as I say, has to be frustration in there for Stokes. He's been the busier man, but
he's got to build on those body shots. Another good one there.
A couple of big right hands to the body, but then he gets himself off the ropes again and lands his own good shots in return.
Tyler Denny's mouth is open now. He looks tired. Stokes is looking the stronger, but he needs a stoppage. In my opinion, he needs a stoppage.
Just needs to calm down a bit for me, Stokes. You know, I know he needs a knockout, but you can force it too much, can't you?
Heads coming together there a little bit. Stokes digging away with that right hand to the body. Denny seems to be beckoning his man in, or maybe he's tiring. Leading off with the head there, Denny, a bit of bravado maybe.
Oh, that's a good body shot, that's creased him up.
Yeah, Denny felt that one. Stokes needs to keep himself busy here. Can't let Denny keep tying him up.
This is definitely a Tommy Stokes round, I think.
Couple of nice body shots from Denny and a little uppercut inside.
I think the snap's gone from Denny's punches though.
Is Denny unravelling here, Adam?
I think this could be the start. Oh, I've got that a Tom Stokes round. Definitely a Tommy Stokes round. I'd like to see how everyone's scoring it. Malcolm Alvin, please feel free to give me your scorecard, mate.
We're getting a lot of support on Facebook Live, but I want to see, like you say, how are people actually calling this fight?
How is everyone? Got it 7-1 now, same as me, Stuart Smith.
It's pretty straightforward from where we are.
Cracking round. There is a saying, if you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain. Maybe he's put up with the rain and he's going to get the rainbow.
2 rounds to go here at the Walsall Town Hall. If you're just joining us, Denny's controlled the action pretty much from the start, but Stokes came into it a little bit in that last round. Decent punches to the body, had Denny breathing a little bit hard and thinking about what he was doing a bit more. He's still comfortably ahead of the cards, but Stokes got to be feeling more confident as he sits down now, Adam.
I mean, if Stokes had concentrated on the body a bit earlier on, it could have
been a different
by the end
fight.
of 10 rounds, it could have been level. We don't know. Now he still needs a knockout.
We've got a couple of people saying 6-2, 5-3, 7-1, 6-2, yeah, to Denny.
I personally say 5-3 is very generous to Tom Stokes.
I'd agree with that. Some good shots landed from Stokes to start the round.
Great start to the round.
You can see Tommy Stokes has come out with a new demeanour about him. He really wants this now. Look at his attitude's better. He's got a lot more confidence. Denny's tying up.
I think Denny will look to slow the pace the next couple of rounds. Maybe look just for counter opportunities. Try and soak up that punishment the pressure from Stokes and try and take as little punishment as possible.
I don't know if I'm putting too much into these body shots, but I think if Stokes had concentrated on him a bit earlier, like I say, I think we might have seen a different thing, because it does seem to be that slowed Denny down, taking the snap out of his work.
We've had comments saying Tommy Stokes is coming on strong. Oh, that's better by Tommy.
Better work inside there again from Stokes. And he walks onto a nice straight left hand. Denny's still making him think all the time.
Should Denny just get on his bike here, Adam?
I think that could potentially be the worst thing if we let Stokes just come to him, because the zip in his punches have probably gone now. He's tired. He needs to almost try and fight fire with fire.
Another right hand.
He needs to let him know. Tie him up. Nick a breather.
Another right hand to the body landed inside there from Stokes. You have to feel he's got to do more than land these single shots. He needs to be landing in combinations. Straight right hand and a left hand lands there.
This is the first time we're really seeing any holding, isn't it?
I think Tyler is starting to tire up now. He is starting to tire. A little bit of a break here. Tom is coming on. The tape on his gloves come undone. Kevin Parker not spotted this yet.
Decent left hand again by Denny.
Oh. Here we go again. Now they go. What a shot by Tyler Denny. Stokes is pulling it on him, but Denny's nicking it back.
With a short left hand inside by Denny, following up with that straight right jab. There's some loose tape on Stokes' gloves. The referee seems to be letting them carry on. We may not have noticed it. I think he's got to intervene at some point, Adam.
I'm shocked he hasn't. This has been for a good minute and a half now. That's it. Tommy needs to work the body.
It's better again inside there from Stokes. But he's still struggling to get through that guard, Adam.
I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling to score this round. Slightly towards Stokes, but Denny is coming back. Maybe a 10-10 round. Maybe this will be my first 10-10 round. I'm going to give that a 10-10 round.
Stokes for me at a push.
Those 3 minutes really flew by there. I don't think Stokes got as much landed as he wanted to. I think Denny's looking comfortable now towards the finish.
Yeah, I think that last round was important. Even if you could score it even or score it for Stokes, it was important for Denny just to get through that round.
Tyler Denny here is 3 minutes away from winning the vacant Midlands title.
I've got Tyler Denny 6 rounds up, 6 points up. For me, Tommy Stokes needs to pull something out the bag. He needs a knockout win. For me, that's the only way. Not even putting him down once or twice. He needs a knockout win.
Yeah, it's exactly how I see it. I imagine that's what the instructions that Stokes must be getting in the corner. We've seen some interesting scoring on some major fights lately, but even the ropiest judge will certainly be able to see that Denny took easily the first 6-7 rounds of this one.
What a great fight as they go into the last three minutes though.
Ref brings them together for the start of the final round.
In we go. And Tom is straight on him. In my opinion, all Tyler needs to do is survive, and he's got this.
Denny clinches him up here, sapping precious minutes out of it.
Tyler's working it.
Stokes
back comes Tommy. Oh, cracking body work.
Nice little right hand inside from Stokes, but then he circled his way out well.
What a fight we've got on here. BCB Errol Johnson's put on an area title fight that will not be forgotten for many a year. Tommy Stokes against Tyler Denny for the vacant middleweight Midlands area title.
We knew it would be good, we didn't know it was going to be this good.
I didn't think it was going to be this good, and I did think Tommy Stokes was going to win this. And he's just been caught again.
Sharp work inside there from Denny, managing to circle off, landing a little right hook to the head.
This is boxing, by the way. We don't know what the judges don't necessarily have to agree with us.
Well, it'll be referee Kevin Parker judging this. The referee will be the judge inside the ring. But for me, Tyler Denny's comfortable in this last round. I think Tommy needs to be putting it on him and manning him up.
The time is getting away here a bit from Stokes.
Yeah,
he's really got to start pushing the action, but he is running out of time.
Tyler looks tired, but he's doing everything he needs to.
He's got enough. He's managed to pace himself well enough, not perfectly, but he's paced himself well enough to get through this.
Stokes falls short there with a little short left hook.
For me, Tyler's winning this last round. He's scoring. He's making Stokes miss.
Yeah, the scoring points, punches definitely coming from Tyler Denny.
We're now in one punch knockout territory if Stokes is going to do this.
Oh, good shot by Tommy.
I said that.
But Tyler's come back.
Denny comes back again.
Oh, what a fight!
Superb.
The crowd are standing up. What a fight this is.
Lovely combination thrown there from Denny.
There's that overhand hook. Tommy puts his arms out, but it's too late for that. He needs to get stuck in, and
I think this round has summed the fight up in a way for me.
Stokes needs the stoppage here, but Denny looks the more aggressive. Decent right hand landed though, as I say that, from Stokes.
And there we go again by Denny. Just doing enough. Just doing the scoring shots. They might not be enough to hurt him, but they're deterring him from coming forward.
Some tired punches there from both men.
I don't think Denny needs to lay it on the line like this.
Tyler Denny!
Look at that. Superb. Finish with a body shot.
What I will say, guys, is we've got to take our hats off to these two men. What a fight they put on in front of everyone here. Everyone watching at home. What a fight. Both lads deserve a massive round of applause.
Stokes looking to push the action late on as we head to the final bell.
That's a Tyler Denny round for me.
The entire Walsall Town Hall stands to applaud both men, and both raise their arms at the final bell.
I think Tom Stokes has raised his arms more in hope than anticipation now.
Adam's just totting up his scorecard here ringside. I think we're all pretty much in agreement on the result. Just as we await the scorecards here, a final shout out to our main sponsor tonight, Grosvenor Casinos, making fights like this and shows like this happen and bringing it to you all at home.
We'll be there for the after party.
Absolutely. Adam, how do you have it?
I've scored that tonight. Tyler Denny 99, Tommy Stokes 92. Maybe there were some 10-10 rounds. A gentleman next to me's just scored it 97-94 to Tyler Denny. But for me, if Tyler Denny is not the new Midlands area middleweight champion, there's something very wrong.
Agreed.
We're just waiting the scorecards here. Again, I'm close to you on that, Adam. I had it pretty wide. I think at most you could have given Stokes potentially 2 rounds of that fight. He fought well. We'll wait for the scores.
And they deserve this round of applause.
Well deserved.
They deserve this.
Deserved.
It's 96-94. Tyler Denny gets it.
It's a right result.
The correct decision, far closer than I had it. But the right man won at the end of the day. Maybe if Stokes had started a little bit earlier, he only needed another round. 1 round for a draw, Adam. I just don't see that.
I definitely had that as a 99-92. I think the referee's been generous there to Tommy Stokes, and obviously I'm a Stokes fan. He's in my gym. I was backing Tommy Stokes, but Tyler Denny's won that for me quite convincingly.
And standard of fight, I haven't got money on and I got the right call.
Credit to both men though, what a fight that was.
Yeah, excellent fight that, excellent 10-round fight. Thoroughly enjoyable from both men.
And you know, even though on the our scorecards would appear to have Denny winning it easily, it was a close, great barnstorming fight that we'd all want to see again. Because you can have 12-round fights that are scored 120, 108. Just if you think, if one fighter's edged every single round, doesn't mean it's not a close fight, does it?
As a fan, I'd want to see it again, but from a selfish point of view, if I was Tyler, I wouldn't want to rematch him. I'd want to move on to bigger and better things. I'd want an English title next or a British title. Yeah. Well, like myself, I'm going on to a Commonwealth. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be going for that. I'd want to be pushing on.
We'll hopefully grab a quick word with Tyler in a few moments, but I'd certainly imagine to push on. Like I say, as close as the scorecard was, it was a fight he dominated early, and there will be bigger challenges ahead for Denny.
I do think that Tommy Stokes can come again, maybe box for the same area title if it becomes vacant, maybe against Ryan Aston. I don't know what other middleweights are around at the minute, but if I was Tyler Denny, I did speak to him earlier and he did say he probably would, if the right fight wasn't there to defend it, he would move on if a bigger opportunity come. And I wouldn't blame him for doing that.
But after a fight that exceeded expectations, the money might be there that might change his mind a little bit.
Well, yeah, definitely. There's not a lot of money at Midlands area unless it's on a big TV fight. So maybe he should be looking for English. Maybe Elliot Matthews. I don't know if he's got an opponent yet for his English title shot, or you just never know what's around the corner off one of these area shots.
We've seen fighters from around here appearing on undercards at matchroom shows at the NIA in Birmingham and stuff. I mean, this would be a great bet to be on one of those shows, wouldn't it?
Oh, this would be a great rematch for that. 100%, it'd be a great rematch for that kind of thing. And that it deserves that kind of show and that kind of coverage. What a fight this was.
It's Tom. Tom, great fight. We knew it was going to be good. I don't know if we knew it was going to be that good.
Obviously I know it was going to be an hard fight, it's a Midlands area title. It ain't going to be an easy fight at the end of the day. I think the decision was fair, close. I think it could have gone either way. But I set myself down in the first few rounds. I couldn't get working, couldn't get my distance, couldn't get anything. And fair play to Tyler, deserves the win.
Did his game plan surprise you early on?
No, I knew it was going to be tricky. All southpaws and tricky. It's just their style at the end of the day, and something I get used to. It's boxing. I'm going to come against them.
You seem to really come on strong later into the fight. Was it potentially, looking back at it, you may want to start it maybe a round or two earlier?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. I just couldn't get started. I couldn't find my distance. I felt a bit stiff going in there. Maybe I didn't warm up enough, but living there.
What did you enjoy it?
Yeah, of course I enjoyed it, man. I love fighting. That's what I live for, boxing, you know. That's it.
And what about doing it again? If he'll do it, did you get a word with him in his ear after the?
Nah, I haven't really had a chance to speak to him, but if he wants to do it again, I'm here all day long. You know, I'm ready to fight.
And just a quick word tonight, obviously you had huge support, and the biggest probably out of anyone that was fighting on the bill. What do you have a quick word to the fans that were here live and obviously watching live on Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the support's been fantastic for this one. And let's go again, whenever. I'll be ready. Fitter, stronger, whatever.
So, great fight, Sam.
Tom, you'll go again. Thanks, mate. Go and get yourself a shower, mate. You've earned it.
A dejected Tom Stokes there. I think he was accepting of the decision, which I think is good to see. I think it was, like I say, we may have had it slightly wider, but he gave it his all.
What a fight.
We just await the champion, Tyler Denny.
Yeah, I mean, Tom certainly made it a war, didn't he? You know, like we expected it to be.
Just think
he certainly didn't disgrace himself, but not many would have beaten Tyler Denny tonight on that form.
Tyler was on top form, but I do think Tommy could have made it more of a war from the start and put it on him. It's just one of those things. I'm absolutely gutted for Tommy, but you've got to take your hat off for Tyler.
We can see the respect there. We're just waiting for Tyler to come up, but the two of them having photos taken with each other.
Absolutely.
Tyler's coming in, take a pew.
Tyler, Midlands middleweight champion. How does it feel to hear that?
Oh, I'm buzzing. I worked so hard and the odds was against me. I've seen the bookies and I've earned a few people quite a bit of money this performance, as I tell you. And the build-up, fair play to Tom. I swear he's been a gentleman all through. I have as well. I said nothing bad about it. It's had to because we're both good fighters. And I'm just buzzed. I'm lost for words. I'm buzzing.
Myself and Adam ringside had the fight a little bit wider than the referee. Were you comfortable? When you come to the score?
To be fair, obviously it's there to be seen, but the plan was just jab him and just see how it goes from there. It more complicated. The plan is just to jab him, out jab him, and see how you get on. And when you warm into it, get your combos going out. Because if you do them too early, you ain't warm or nothing, and you might get caught with a counter. So I just went with the plan. I got tired. I think like round 6 and 7 and 8. Or is it 7, 8, 9? I don't know. But I'll come back to the last round. My corner says you're winning this fight, but make sure go out there, just box him. I think I got too involved sometimes, though.
Tyler, were you surprised in that first round to find yourself holding the centre of the ring, or was that part of the game plan?
No, because everyone kept saying to me about Tom's power and they was making out like I can't punch. And I know my record, they say I can punch, but I punch hard enough so like someone like Tom, who everyone says tough, he has to respect my power. So. And that was it. I wasn't going out there saying I'm going to go and knock him out, because if it come, and I think I hurt him at one point, and there's about 10 seconds left of the round, I think round 4 or 5, and his leg done a little, and I tried to pull it on him, and then the bell went, so he was back to the boxing from there.
Tell us about this unique sort of looping right hook that you've got, because you were landing it sort of not at will, but you were landing it on the attack, you were landing it on the counter.
It works. Sometimes my corner want me to turn it in a bit more and get a bit more power, but I think if you notice, when I'm doing it as I'm spinning off, so it's more of a like, I hit him and then get out of the way, do you know what I mean? But sometimes maybe mix it up and plant my feet and turn it in properly a bit more, but I think Luke Campbell, obviously I don't compare myself to Luke Campbell, but I was watching him against Linares, and he does it quite a bit, like he throws the loop and he's turning as he throws it, but then he's done a little 90-degree angle, so he's out of the way then.
There's like an inverted bolo punch style.
Yeah, no, it ain't got much power, but like you say, you don't tell you all about power.
I don't want to find out, mate, to be honest.
There will be people calling for a rematch. Like I said, we had it quite wide up here, but what do you want? What did you we both had it. Adam,
I scored it 99-92 to you.
Yeah, no, I had the same score as Adam, to be honest. Like
I had similar, but I think a lot of the rounds were close.
I think the plan was just to frustrate him, and I think sometimes I did. And he threw a long backhand, and I just leaned back, and I countered him with my own backhand, and we've worked so hard on it in training and that, like, and I want to thank say like John Pegg and like Tommy Langford as well for letting us go up there and spar, because we struggled to get sparring for it, and I'm over the moon.
What's next?
Hopefully I can move on, to be fair. Not being big-headed, but you know, why do I want to stop and defend it for when there's bigger shots out there? Normally it's a stepping stone. You've done the 10 rounds, just ticking boxes, and you've won I won a challenge belt, but people don't class that, but trust me, I'll class that as a belt, because I worked hard for that, so I want to class it as a belt. I've won this one, and the board recognises it. See where it puts me in the rankings, and maybe an English title shot or something. And I think I've got no ambition to stay at Midlands level. If I have to, I'm gonna. But you asked Tom if he would have won. I don't think, you know, Adam's there himself.
I'll be honest with you, I think if you have to fight Ryan Ash to move on to an English title against your Felix Cash, your Elliot Matthews, I wouldn't be hanging around if I was you.
Exactly.
I'd be gone.
What's Ryan Ash going to offer me? I mean, I like Ryan, but what's he going to offer me? You know, if you beat him, you say, oh, he's lost to Cunningham, he's lost to Warborn and stuff, and if he just won Tom Stokes, he won't be defending it against me, no way. So,
just a quick final word. There's a lot of fans here to support you, and a lot of people watching online.
Absolutely buzzing. I'm buzzing. Thanks to everyone. And I sold 120 tickets for this, and I was like, saying I was the away fighter, and I you know, people get saying, what do you feel like being the away fighter? I was like, I ain't gonna feel like I'm the away fighter. I'm from Rowley Regis, the Black Country. What's like that far? It's only up the road, really. Do you know what I mean? I think Adam fights all over the place. It's rare he's fighting near where he lives. So, and I just want to thank everyone for coming up. Thank all my sponsors, and Tom Stokes. You know, I want to pay so much respect to him. Like you say, the build-up there was no stupidness or nothing. We've come in, we've both trained hard, and the better man won, I believe.
Congratulations, Tyler.
Great stuff, mate. See you down the Grosvenor.
Tyler.
Cheers, mate.
All right, that's it for the boxing here at the Walsall Town Hall. Hope you've all enjoyed the live stream here. We managed to keep it going pretty much all the way through.
Yeah, it's been a great night.
And we just want to finally thank our sponsor, Grosvenor Casino. For myself, Adam and Phil here. It's been a good one, guys.
It's been a great one.
It's been a great evening, guys, and hopefully you can join us again next one.
See you next week. Good night.